Live. Haven't said that in a while. Live from the YouTubes. We're back for the first time in a while. A little out of breath. Had to run upstairs and get the phone charged just now, but hey, the phone is charging. Little glitchy, maybe on my end. Hopefully, it sorts itself out. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting on. But you all let me know. How does it look on your end? Again, it's the first time we've done this in a bit, and so hopefully the system and the program can handle it. Yeah, we're a little glitchy. That's okay. Does it look good for you all? Listen, thank you all so much for showing up, being here, hanging out. We are going to we're going to go back to the good old days, aka what 3 months ago. That's the last time we did this. I think it was October was the last time we did a live stream. Man, I missed it so much. You know, lots has been going on my end lately. Obviously, we've got a baby. Well, we had a baby, but we've got another baby. We've got a newborn in the house. And so that kind of put a pause on all live streams for quite a while. But the newborn is slowly moving out of that newborn phase and becoming a human, which is really cool to see. And so I told my wife, I'm like, it might be time to go back to live streaming now that we've cleared things up a little bit. And let me tell you, man, obviously we had one already, and now we have two children. Having a baby it's the best thing ever. But those first 2 months, it's really the first 2 weeks is insane. But the first 2 months, it's hard to find time for basically anything. But now that we've kind of gotten that out of the way, what is it, November, December, getting into February, kind of the more difficult months, or at least what I was signing up for, we're going to do some live streams, some more live streams going forward. They're going to have a bit of a different look and feel. Obviously had to re-up StreamYard for the first time in a while, but we're going to get back into the original graphics, the even better setup than what we got now. I'm mumbling, rambling. You all are here for me to answer some questions, but first, I'm going to get into this chat and see who all is here tonight, man. And if you're here, don't just hang out and not say anything. Look, if you do, absolutely fine, but I want to see your logo, not your face. I want to see your logo, your username, man. Ask some questions, hang out with us. We're going to have the best time, hopefully, tonight and some live streams in the future. And then, of course, if you guys didn't see, we had some really cool things happen over the last couple of weeks. Some updated graphics, a brand new theme song by Joseph Burke Arts, who is working hard on some awesome tracks right now. And we started a membership for this channel to give you all some really cool things beyond just what we've got going on now. And so we're going to have some ranks within the live streams. We're going to have some members-only original live streams, and we're going to have some sweet emojis that you guys can comment during these live streams to throw everybody else off. But we're working on all that stuff. That's opened up. We'll talk about it more later. Let's get into the chat and see who all is here, who all's hanging out, man. Starting out with Ian Stumbo's media outlet. Hey, Austin, hope you're a good buddy. What are your 3 favorite Spielberg movies? Hope you and your family are doing well. Of course, we're predicting the Oscars on Brother Bros app. Thank you for being here, Ian. Awesome as always. Appreciate you, my friend. 3 favorite Spielberg movies, man. I mean, off the bat, Saving Private Ryan, probably my number one. I feel like that's always shifting. You got to throw Jaws in there. You could throw in Jurassic Park. You could throw in Minority Report, some of his more underrated movies. 1 and 2 is always easy. It's always number 3 where I'm struggling. Indiana Jones, the Last Crusade, which is my personal favorite. The number 3 spot's tough, but definitely Saving Private Ryan, Jaws, and then 5 or 6 competitors for number 3. And we'll get into more questions here in a second. We've got AJY Abbott 2004 in the chat. Iron Lung did so good. They took it off the leaderboard. Yeah, I'm seeing that. A little strange. They keep taking Markiplier's movie off of all the box office results, and they'll put them back on later in the day. And I'm just like, why are we doing this? Maybe it's harder to calculate the earnings, but at the same time, I'm adoring that movie's success. I mean, you've got multiple days now where it's been the number 1 movie in America. No one ever thought that would happen other than Markiplier's hardcore fans, but even they were probably skeptical. So really cool to see. to be honest with you. We've got Austin. How much do we have to pay you to go see that 4-hour-long cut of all Three Strangers films? Oh, God. Is that real? Is that a real thing? Is there really a 4-hour cut of all Three Strangers films? Oh, geez. Yeah, I posted a short a little earlier of the Strangers 3 review. It's a really bad movie. It's bad, folks. Really bad. So, yeah, not fun. It would take a lot. It would take a lot to go see all Three Strangers movies put together, because that, just separately, they're a rough experience. First super chat of the day, Elizabeth Tennyson 139. Thoughts on Michael biopic movie. Elizabeth, thank you so much for your super chat, for being here, for being generous, for being wonderful, and for hanging out with us tonight. First live stream in what, 3 months? 2-3 months, something like that. The Michael movie is interesting. I'm curious to see how they're going to approach, obviously, the more tender topics later on in his career. I'm curious to see what they do there. But if you're just talking from a looks standpoint, how this film, makes me feel watching those trailers, it looks like it could be really exciting. Now, I know everybody wants to get on board with that. Well, Bohemian Rhapsody and all these kind of misfires, and they're just kind of Oscar bait at this. But I get that. I completely understand that. But I do think, from the casting to, you got some really good looking performances in there. Obviously, who's playing Michael, the movements, the look, the feel down to a T, which is really cool to see. And so I am actually very interested in this film, and I think it could be bad, but I also like the director. And so I think this could be a very entertaining, exciting biopic. We'll see what happens. And, but I do believe, and I'm calling my shot here, I think this movie's going to friggin' crush at the box office. Some people say nay over on the Twitters. I say, no, you're wrong. It's making a lot of money. Actually, then I would say yes. Yes, it's making a lot of money. I truly believe that. Hey, we had some more people join just now. Thank you all for being here, hanging out again. It's the first live stream in a while. I don't know how the algorithm is going to treat this, because I've not done this in a bit. And so hopefully they like it. Hopefully we push it. If you guys like it, literally like it, keep commenting. If you guys want to share this video over on the socials, that would be awesome to get it out there, man, because we've not done this in a while. And so that don't know if that bodes well for the algorithm. But I want to say thank you, Elizabeth, for being amazing. Live from the Austin studio, it's Burke Day night. I like that. Burke Day night live. Burke live from my basement. It's Burke Day night live. I really like that. Thoughts on Mike McCarthy? Well, Trojan Giraffe. What a name. Trojan Giraffe. This is not a place for football. But of course, I'm going to answer that question. I was a little skeptical on the hire at first. I've loved the coaching staff he's hired. I love it. Patrick Graham, Angelico, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but kind of his role in all these guys that they've hired since the McCarthy hire, I'm like, oh, okay. We haven't had a good coaching staff in 10 years. And so it's nice to see a good coaching staff across the board. It's also nice to see it's not just yes men. It's some people in there that are going to do some different things. And again, I love Mike Tomlin, but it was time. And this new coaching staff is way more exciting than anything he's ever had. And so we'll see what happens. I guess it all depends on the quarterback. But holy moly. First of all, DJC, cool setup. Thank you so much. Holy moly. Rocky McFly. Channel legend. Rocky McFly returned to the channel. Rocky, you did not have to do that, my friend. Thank you so much for being here, Rocky McFly. If you guys don't know, Rocky McFly has always been, will forever be a channel legend. Seriously, you did not have to do that, but I appreciate the super chat, getting things going. Man, Rocky, you don't even have to become a channel member. You are one. If I can find a way to just get you in to the channel membership without you having to pay for anything, I will do it, because Rocky McFly is an absolute channel legend. And regardless of who becomes a member of this channel, you will always be the OG, my friend. So thank you so much. You did not have to do that, Rocky McFly. But seriously, that's amazing. And any question you have, my friend, be sure to ask, and everybody be on the lookout for Rocky McFly, channel legend, with the amazing contribution to the channel, but also just continually coming back, asking the right questions, being great over on Twitter. I just really appreciate everything you do, Rocky. So thank you. Seriously, I cannot say thank you enough, for real. My wife is FaceTiming me right now, right in the middle of a live stream. I'm going to mute my mic. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to tell her we're live. I'm going to tell her about Rocky McFly. Give me 1 second. Hang on. Riley, I unmuted my mic. Can you say hi to everyone, please?
Can you say hi?
No, she's scared. She's terrified. You want to say bye? You want to?
She has a boo-boo on her toe.
You got a boo-boo on your toe? Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Can you all hear this right now? Pawpaw hurt your toe. Unbelievable, Pawpaw. Unbelievable. This is everyone on YouTube is now fully aware that Pawpaw hurt Riley's toe. So thank you so much.
Hey, tell Dada you love him.
Riley, I love you. I love you so much. Say bye, Rai.
Bye.
I love you. I'll text you soon. Bye, baby.
Hit the red button.
Hit the red button. There you go.
Uh-oh.
Hit the red button.
You got it. Look at that. I had to mute it at first just to make sure she wasn't crying, because there's always a great chance she's crying. So the wife and both babies are hanging out with Pawpaw and Dee Dee tonight, which is really cool. That is both of her parents, and this gave me the opportunity to do a little live stream for you all. Still got the dog here. Minnie's hanging out with us, but that was just your all's little insight into my life with a 2-year-old and the 2-month-old. It's absolute chaos. Rocky McFly, I love you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for asking amazing questions. Let's see here. We've got AJYT Abbott, the lead actress for the Strangers trilogy, said that's something they're working on. And I'm just thinking, wow, oh my God, please, Lord, please, God, don't let me have to go and watch the Strangers 3-movie trilogy into one. That would be absolutely horrible. So thanks for filling me in on something that I will never, ever check out. Let's see. Someone said, super chat, Mr. Movie Obsession. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being obsessed. Iron Lung was stupidly boring. So we've got someone who wasn't a big fan of the Iron Lung. I wasn't a big fan either, Mr. Movie Obsession. Look, here's what I'll say. I am super impressed with its success, and I'm rooting for Markiplier, and I want this movie to make money. And I think it's a really cool thing for films. And not because, and I had somebody argue with me on Twitter. Shocker. I know. I like to get myself into those situations because it's fun. It's fun. It's really entertaining. I get bored. I'm feeding the baby. I'm just like, all right, let's see what people are saying over on Twitter. But I essentially said, Markiplier's movie making this amount of money is phenomenal. And they pushed back and they said, well, Markiplier has a bunch of deranged fans and has $70 million and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, first of all, where'd you get that number? Second of all, it's an individual who took money that he did not get from a campaign. And I don't think there's anything wrong with getting money from a campaign to make a movie. I actually think that's essential for a lot of people. I just supported someone's campaign over on TikTok, somebody who I know, love, and respect. But when you can do it by yourself, regardless of how much money you have, go up against the studio system and make money, not only make money, but win the box office. Numerous days opening weekend, win the box office. That's impressive. Not only is it impressive, it's kind of incredible. It's a big deal. And so I didn't like the movie. I thought it was meh, but I am a huge fan of what it was able to do. And I'm a huge fan of what Markiplier, the success that he's been able to kind of get a taste of from that. And hopefully the next one is better. And not that I think Iron Lung was the worst thing ever, but it just felt like a lot of inside baseball. Like fans of that game would really appreciate the movie. Outside people, not as much. But I am very impressed with what the film was able to accomplish. Thank you so much, regardless, for the super chat. Is that the blue futon? Is that the blue futon? Over on Twitter and messaging me on, just all the things. My guy coming back while I am in a movie. While you're in a movie? Come on now. You did not have to do that. Stay safe for you and your lightsaber children. Where's the purple? Well, I got we actually took the other one down because obviously we've got the new baby now. The purple one, that Etsy seller no longer sells the items. And so we had to order an entirely new thing, but the entirely new thing is coming. So they don't sell that anymore. Unfortunately, that Etsy seller does not, but we got one that looks very similar. And so hopefully we'll have some new decoration that features both babies. I had to take one down because it's not fair just to have Riley. I've got to have Riley and Sadie, but we're definitely going to have a new Star Wars celebration with both kids. Lionsgate check. The Strangers is the best trilogy ever. Oh my God. Blue Futon, listen. It is the best trilogy ever when talking about worst trilogies. So if you're like, out of these worst trilogies, what is the most accomplished worst one? If that's how you want to phrase it and call it the best, I'll give you that. Otherwise, I do believe this Strangers trilogy will go down in the conversation of worst trilogies of all time. And not that it made a huge splash, not that a ton of people were talking about it, but how often do you get 3 movies in a row that just botch and botch and botch that concept? It's unbelievably bad. Truly unbelievably bad. And so that's kind of where my thoughts lie on the Strangers. And according to you all, hopefully I don't have to go back and watch the 3 or 4 hour cut of all 3 films. That would be atrocious. We've got Yo Austin, hope all is well with the family. God bless. What was your favorite show of 2025? I never got to do that list. It kept awards season kept happening, kept pushing it and pushing it. Then I had to do most anticipated movies, and then I started ranking the best picture. Now I'm going to be ranking the actor and actress nominees. That's the next video on this channel. But it was a really tough call for me because I was between a couple of shows. Severance, Andor was in there for sure. But I ultimately went with The Pit. The Pit is my favorite show of 2025. It's just, and it's funny because it's kind of the opposite of what I thought I would like, to be honest with you, because I don't like medical dramas. I don't like blood and gore in the medical setting. I don't like any of that stuff. But the show won me over. It won me over with its writing, with its character development, with all of these things that just kind of blew me away. And obviously we're watching season 2 right now, and it's I guess just as good. I mean, we have to see where it goes, but it's great so far. And so The Pit was my favorite show of 2025. I can't believe that is even the case, but it was a spectacular, spectacular show. My Hero, I've only seen 2 seasons of My Hero. I'm very behind, but I've really loved what I've seen. Are you ready for Strangers Chapter 4? Please, God, no. Don't let him find me. DreamWorks fan, do you find it insulting when other critics say that movie studios and filmmakers only care about making money? I don't find it insulting. It takes a lot to insult me. That's it. It doesn't take a lot to piss me off. I'm like, what is wrong with you, you dummy? Not you, but some people that I tend to argue with over on Twitter. Because again, it's fun. It's fun to do that. And I like being right. But I don't find it insulting when people say that because there are more examples than not of people that don't do it just for the money. Way more examples, I would say. But there are examples of specifically studios. I'd say less so filmmakers. I think a lot of studios just do it for the money, and that's fine because you have to, because you've got to be able to recoup and invest it back, and I get it. But that's more often the case with studios. Now, with filmmakers, I think for the most part, you've got your studio guys and girls that they pluck and they throw in, and it's just like, all right, we're going to do this for the sake of doing it. I think filmmakers, for the most part, do it for the art. And I think they do it because they feel like they have a great idea, or they feel like they can work with a great idea, or they feel like there is something that they can prove to other people. And that's always more important than the money. And so if I ever got the opportunity to make a movie or be involved with making a movie or write a script, which, may or may not be happening, I would do it to prove to myself that I could do it, but also to sit back and find something that allows me to give back what I've learned. And I think that's where a lot of directors like Christopher Nolan has learned so much with all of his projects. And with the Odyssey, you have to think that he's sitting there going, let me give this back. Let me take all the things that I've learned, all the knowledge, all the wrongs, all the rights, package it together and create something for people to just experience and enjoy. Those are the directors and those are the filmmakers that I respect the most. And I think that is awesome. Now, but again, that's not always the case, right? You are going to get some people in there that only care about the money, and then you're going to get the studios that only care about the money. Absolutely fine, whatever. I do believe, though, that a lot of our favorite filmmakers are in it for the right reasons, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Also, it's your partner in crime 3C. 3C! Oh, it's his birthday today. See, I'm glad you said that. I've not been on social media all day, literally all day. And so that's my boy. That's my guy. I will have to wish him a happy birthday today. I love me some 3C films, man. I really do. And so also congrats to him because he's got some really cool things going on in his life right now too. The boy is back. Thank you so much, my friend. I beg of you, drop some movie mode eps. I know I've redone it like 5 times. I keep thinking I've got it and then I don't got it. It's hard, man. Without my partner in crime, Ryan Snelling, it was really hard to kind of reinvent, and I'm still working on it. But I promise you, it is coming back. It's just trying to find the right time. And then, obviously, again, we have the newborn. And so as she gets out of being a newborn, life for me will become a lot easier, hopefully. Let's see here. Keep going down here. Oh, we got another super chat. It's early, but can the Odyssey challenge Sinners in nominations? From AJY Abbott 2004. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Of course, when you're a movie of that caliber, on that scale, directed by Christopher Nolan, I'm always going to sit here and say, yeah, of course it's going to be able to challenge what looks to be one of the coolest movies, of the last several years, and had a lot going for it, from the performances to the tech to the idea of, we can make this mean a little bit more, but also still be a vampire thriller. Like, yeah, Sinners had the entire package. Admittedly, it had the total package. But I will say, when I look at, and sorry here, guys, I know hopefully it's not freezing up on your end. It does look like it's kind of freezing up on my end, but let me know. But I think the Odyssey is another movie that could have the entire package, because you've got one of the all-time ever stories told in history, the Bible and the Odyssey, okay? And then obviously some other religious books, but for me, it's the Bible and the Odyssey. Those are like the two goats, if you will. And the Odyssey being a very fictional type story, but you can do so much with it. You can tell it in so many different ways. But Christopher Nolan said, we'll just do it. We're not going to do it in this really creative way of like, we're going to make sure that we get to this metaphorical thing. No, we're just going to do it. And I'm sitting here like, okay, all right, we're doing it. And so a movie like that, if it hits, if it lands, if it works, it could absolutely challenge Sinners for nominations. I believe that. But keep in mind, Sinners did break a however many year-long tradition of not getting over, 11 or 12. And so it got 15. Or did it get 16? I think I predicted 15. It got 16. Regardless, what an incredible feat for Sinners. And so Of course, another movie can do it. I don't think it does, though. I don't think the Odyssey gets that many. Don't don't trigger me about the Strangers trilogy, all right? I just wish they remained strangers. Austin, my man, finally you were live again. When is the most anticipated list of your channel coming? I mean, the decade series. Well, first, we got to get the best movies of the decade. So, I'm sorry, you said your most anticipated list. So that is what I'm working on right now. I'm working on movies of the decade, but I'm working on a large list that may take 2 videos. And that's going to be a weekend over the next 2 or 3 weekends. That is the plan, because we've had to get past awards season, get past end of the year lists. Now we're at a point to where nothing's really dropping right now. And so we can focus heavily on best of the decade. I'd also like to do best TV shows of the decade, since I didn't do one for 2025. And so, but the best movies of the decade list is pretty much done. I'm still tweaking my 2025 films. I've moved them up and down a little bit, but that's pretty much cemented over on my letterbox. But it's private, so you can't see it. It's just for these eyes only. But I'm looking to have a list of 25. That's where I'm at right now. A list of 25 for you all to see. Rocky McFly, channel legend, back again. Speaking of trilogies, what are the 3 unaffiliated movies that would ultimately make a good trilogy, or even just 3 back-to-back watches? Man, that's a good question. This is why you're great, Rocky McFly. You're stumping me with great questions. My brain, so when you said that, and I'm sure there are way better answers I could come up with, my brain, when you said that, immediately went back to some of my favorite comedies of all time from pre-2000s. And so I went like maybe like a John Hughes-ish type of unaffiliated, but I guess those are affiliated movies. I could move into, some of the most iconic 80s and 90s comedies, go like Happy Gilmore, Tommy Boy. What would another great 90s comedy be? Let's see. Happy Gilmore, Tommy Boy, Ferris Bueller was 80s. Something along those lines, because even though those are slightly similar because they're from the same decade, and you've obviously got these big iconic comedians, I want to go back in the day, even action films, right? We could go, I almost went to James Cameron movies, but those are both James Cameron movies. So I'm trying to find something that can separate them. Oh man, this is tough. And then I couldn't say Terminator 2 because that's a sequel. And then would you have to include Terminator 1? This is a great question, Rocky McFly. What are you all saying? Let me scroll down. I want to see what you guys are saying. Throw Step Brothers in there. Ferris Bueller. No. Happy Gilmore, Tommy Boy, Step Brothers. Oh, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Could I put Zoolander in there? Tommy Boy, Waterboy, Zoolander. That kind of works. Tommy Boy, Waterboy, Zoolander. That kind of works. I like that. Unaffiliated. I mean, obviously, Sandler and Farley are huge friends, but unaffiliated, don't have a lot to do with each other. Tommy Boy, Waterboy, Zoolander. That's a great trilogy. I like what I came up with here. Inception, Interstellar, Tenet, definitely unaffiliated, but you've got the connection of the director. And so are we even allowed to do 3 Nolan movies in this premise that Rocky McFly has set up? Talladega Nights, great one. Step Brothers, Holmes and Watson. Oh, Holmes and Watson. Don't like that movie, but I like 2 out of the 3. But I guess they are unaffiliated. I mean, it's the same actors, but they are unaffiliated. So I like that. That's pretty good. Oh, I love this one. Look at this from TJ McDonough. West Side Story, The Brutalist, The Godfather. I don't know why that works. Tonally, just the look and I'm just like picturing it right now. I could see, that works. That works in my brain. That's a great unaffiliated trilogy. There's another movie I think The Brutalist would pair nicely with from last year. What am I thinking of? The Brutalist would pair nicely with... Okay, now I've got to go to my... See? Look at Rocky McFly, man. He's come up with a phenomenal question here. Let's see. The Brutalist, and then from 2025, what's the film I'm thinking of here? Train Dreams, The Long Walk, The Secret Agent, that might work. Marty Supreme, I don't know. What's the film that I'm thinking of here? One Battle After Another, that might work. I could see The Brutalist and The Secret Agent as a pairing, and then you throw in The Godfather. I could absolutely see that. For some reason, that works. Zoolander's overrated and painfully unfunny. I disagree with that. I love Zoolander. Now, I do agree with the second one being painfully unfunny, because the second one kind of stinks. But the first one, I absolutely love. Clueless, Mean Girls, and another film I can't think of. Ooh, maybe that is the film I was thinking of, The Testament of Van Lee. You might be right, Blue Futon. That might be the movie that I was thinking of. The Testament of Van Lee. Yes, I think that was the movie I was thinking of. Or you could throw it in with this one. Clueless, Mean Girls, and The Testament of Van Lee. Talk about a third movie to throw you off. I also think The Testament of Van Lee pairs nicely with Midsummer. Right? I think Midsummer and the Testament of Van Lee, for some reason, that pairs really nicely in my head. Free Guy, The Atom Project, Deadpool, and Wolverine. Okay. The Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds trilogy. I like that. That's pretty good. See, I like where your all's brains are going. Close Encounters, E.T., and the upcoming Disclosure Day. Love that too. You do have the Spielberg connection, but I think all of those will hopefully pair wonderfully, because I do think Disclosure Day is going to be absolutely epic. Rocky McFly. What a great question. From Rocky McFly. Speaking of trilogies back to back, that's an awesome question, Rocky. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We've got procrastinators with the frowny face. Procrastinators, what's wrong? Don't be sad. Be happy. Now, I know procrastinators got in my initial post today and said you should not do a live stream, and so I'm doing one. So maybe that's why procrastinators is sad. Procrastinators, I love you. Thanks for being here, my friend. Thumbs up or thumbs down, McCarthy hire? Leaning up. I didn't love it at first, but here's the thing. The other two guys that I was kind of wanting didn't end up getting jobs. So it's like maybe they weren't that good of contenders to start with, or maybe they just weren't ready. But I mentioned it earlier, and you probably just showed up, and we'll get into the next question here in a second. I love the coaching staff that he has assembled. I'm a huge fan of Patrick Graham and Jellicoe, whatever his name is. I like what he's been doing with the Vikings. I think he could bring an interesting run element to the Steelers, and I love some of these young hires. Was it TJ Ayu from Texas Tech? So I'm loving the coaching staff. It's the best coaching staff we've had in 10 plus years. It's just, will McCarthy find the quarterback? That's the question. Can he do it? I'm excited to see if he can do it. Let's see. Blue Futon with the next super chat, my friend. Thanks for being here. Out of the movies. Let's go. So the Master of the Universe trailer was, over under $125 million studio. Here's the thing about the Masters of the Universe. The trailer was, I think the biggest issue with the trailer, it's not even that the trailer is bad. It's that we've done this. We've done the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing over and over. Borderlands was awful. And so we're all secretly hoping, we're all out loud hoping it's not another Borderlands. But I don't think it's going to. And here's why. I believe Travis Knight is a more than capable director to take this thing and run with it. I truly believe that. Travis Knight is so good. Has always been good, hasn't really had a misfire. I thought Bumblebee was super entertaining. And so even though it is a weird tone and it's not necessarily what a lot of people were wanting, I do think there's a chance this could be super fun. And I think if Travis Knight kind of keeps on that path, he'll make this a good movie. That said, I don't know how much money it's going to make because I'm not feeling that anticipation for it. We'll see. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be a huge success. I do predict that movie to lose money, but I still think it could be good. I really do. Hey, man, when do you think we will get the Dune trailer from Doyle? From Doy, is it Doy Loves Movies, man? Doy Loves What's going on? Is this your first super chat? Feel like I'd recognize you. Maybe you've done one before. Regardless, I think it's soon. I think it's very soon. I mean, it has to be sooner than later because we've gotten numerous teases for Avengers Doomsday. We're getting heavily teased for things that are coming in December. And as of right now, Dune is coming in December. And so I feel like a trailer has to be right around the corner. I really do. And apparently Timothée Chalamet came out and said recently that a trailer has to be right around the corner and is right around the corner. And so I'm curious to see what they're going to do and kind of what their strategy is going to be. Because here's the thing about Dune Part 3 or Dune Messiah. It is very different than the last movie. Tonally, the vibes are strange. And then you look at kind of who's on board with this. We're getting a new cinematographer. It's like a lot of things are going to be different here. And I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. I believe it's going to look good, obviously, but I want to see what this new cinematographer does and is able to do, how they're able to mold and craft what may even be my favorite part of the last two. Well, it's not, but one of my favorite parts of the last two movies, the production design and kind of how that creates this grand and epic scope and feel while you're watching. That is something that those first two films are just so good at capturing. I hope they can capture it here because even though it's not as big and grand story-wise, you're going to get some massive visuals in this movie. Massive visuals when you find out what's happened with Paul over all of these years. And so very excited to see where we go with Dune Part 3 and very excited to see when we get the trailer. I think it's going to be very soon. I really do. Silence of the Lambs, Seven, and Zodiac. Love it. Absolutely love it. You got two Finchers in there, but I love that. Goes together perfectly. Seven is one of my all-time favorite movies. I'd say all three of those are three of my all-time favorite movies, but Seven is just so magnificent, man. Lethal Weapon, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and The Nice Guys. I love that. I love that. Shane Black. When Shane Black's firing on all cylinders, he's really good. I've been missing that as of late. I've really been missing that. Let's see here. I saw Frankenstein the same day I saw Ariana DeBose perform live, and I was worried I made a mistake because of how emotionally wrung out I felt after seeing Frankenstein. Yeah, I remember walking out of the Kentucky Theater, seeing Frankenstein for the first time, and I ran into someone who I didn't know. He didn't know me. I didn't know him, but we just kind of started talking about the movie, and he was saying, like, that was devastating. And then we started talking about Oscars, like, this should get an Oscar nomination. And that was before Frankenstein was even remotely a lock for Best Picture. And I'm like, yeah, it should get an Oscar nomination. But we were both just kind of like, oh, it's a lot. We felt a ton while watching that. But that's the best, right? When you feel so much while watching a movie. And even though, Frankenstein is not on the level of a Dune or an Oppenheimer for me, it just made me feel so much. And like, how do you do anything else for the rest of the day after you watch a movie like that? It's the best feeling. But at the same time, it's kind of a crazy feeling, to be honest with you. I think WB is waiting to see if they can put Academy Award winner Timothée Chalamet in the trailer. Yeah, I mean, that's very smart. We may get a tease. I do think there's a world where we get a tease before then, because March is still a ways away. It's still a ways away. But yeah, when you get the first trailer, I could absolutely say see them kind of wanting to go in that direction, because you're probably going to have an Academy Award winning actor at the forefront there, which is pretty cool. I felt that way about David Johnson, The Long Walk. The positive outlook on my life that he had after being dealt such an awful hand really resonated. Everyone deserves a friend like him. Yeah, that's what a movie The Long Walk was. And that's, I put it in my top 10 of the year last year because that's one of those movies that I think really deserves the love more so than what it got. I mean, it did well-ish with everybody, with critics, but it's like, it's one of those films that I was wanting people to talk about more when we got to the end of the year, and they just weren't. And so I'm like, I got to put the long Walk in there. It deserves to be in there. It's a phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal movie. Let me scroll back here, guys, and make sure I did not miss anybody here. Let's see. Got to make sure we don't miss any super chats here, guys. Oh, see, we did. We missed one. We missed a super chat. We're scrolling all the way back to Iron Lung, Stupidly Boring, all the way back to Nathan 26. Maybe another new name there. Nathan 26. Thanks for being here. Austin, thoughts on upcoming Toy Story 5 and Shrek 5? Well, let me tell you, I am a massive fan of Shrek. Now, obviously, everybody's a fan of Toy Story, except for my wife. My wife doesn't love Toy Story for some strange reason. Breaks my heart. She likes it. She just doesn't love it. She's like, we watched it all the time as a kid. I kind of got tired of it. I'm like, let me rescind this darn ring and you take it back. I didn't do that. I just told her I loved her and I said, your opinions are the best, baby. Thanks for being here. And then she turned around and I'm like, no, I love the Toy Story trilogy. It's amazing. I also love the first two Shrek movies. The difference is Shrek for me kind of lost that quality that it was so like, I mean, just a game-changing animated movie when it first came out. And that second film was so freaking good and had so many great adult gags. And the story was just so kind of, you know, it invoked a lot of emotions, but it's super entertaining and it's funny and it's adult. It's like it had everything. And then you get to the third one, it's kind of like, it's not as good. And then you get to the fourth one, it's kind of like, well, that's not as good. And so I didn't feel that way about the first three Toy Story films. Now, obviously, Toy Story 4, not as good as the first three, but I still think Toy Story 4 has a lot great about it. And so I should be more excited for Toy Story 5 based on everything I just said, because I think it's a way more consistent franchise. But part of me is like, if Shrek 5 can turn me around on what the last few movies weren't able to do, then we might be in for something special, and I might be more excited for Shrek 5. So I may be more excited for Shrek 5, to be honest with you, than I am Toy Story 5 right now. I have that small and subtle feeling that they might just be milking, which, you know, they're milking every franchise. We got 3 sequels, we got 4 sequels, we got 5 Minions movies, and we're just going to squeeze every freaking drop out of it. They're milking that, right? But even if they are milking the Shrek franchise, I look at that animation style, and I don't know who here has seen Puss in Boots 2, but Puss in Boots 2 was so freaking cool. I mean, it was so freaking cool. So if they take that and they say, we're going to put that into it, and we're going to give you something special here, I'm on board. I'm on board. Let's go. Let's do this. I think this could be super fun. And so that's kind of how I'm feeling about both of those movies, both those franchises. We will see what happens. We've got another super chat here. Let's see who's hanging out in the regular chat really quick. We've got, I think Madigan deserves more than Elle Fanning in Best Supporting Actress. We've got any expectation for the upcoming Backrooms movie. I don't know a ton about Backrooms, but I've looked into it a little bit. I love that they got the creator as the director. I love the idea of A24 bringing a video game movie to life. That's really exciting. And I love the cast that they've assembled for it. So I do actually think that could be really, really entertaining. We'll get into the other super chats here in just a second, guys. And Toy Story 3 has one of the most iconic villains in animated history. Absolutely. And James is in here saying, hello, Austin Burke. How is live? It is wonderful, James. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I truly appreciate it. All right. More super chats. You guys are on fire tonight. Thank you all so much for the wonderful super chatting. And let me make sure we're not glitching. We're not lagging here tonight, man. This has been fun. I know it was a last second live stream. I understand, but I want to make sure we are not lagging on my end. Okay. I think we are solid here. Let me go back. All right. Okay. Next super chat. Mr. Movie Obsession, back once more. I appreciate it, my friend. If Adrian Brody plays another Jewish character who is a painter, the pianist, the brutalist, and then whatever the next one is. Yes, the Ist trilogy. The pianist, the brutalist, the Mist. No, that's already a movie, which I don't like. I don't like The Mist. I don't think that's a good movie. The Analyst. There we go. We'll do The Analyst. That's the next one. Not The Analyst. That's a very different movie on a very different channel from a very different studio. And that's the name of my film that I'm writing. The Analyst. mm. Mm. H2O, baby. H2O. I'll tell you what, though. What Adrian Brody is able to do in The Brutalist, I don't know if any of you all went back and watched that film. I went back and rewatched it last year, I think like 4 or 5 months ago. It's really freaking good. I think The Brutalist is going to be looked at in 5-10 years as one of those, like, at the time it was well appreciated. You look back on it, and it's even more appreciated now than it was back when it came out. I truly believe that's going to be the type of movie that we're looking at, because it's just so spectacular. It's just so beautifully made. Themes, I mean, just everything you can look for and ask. And Brady Corbet, I mean, just does a wonderful job. I'm so excited for his next film. And so, yeah, The Brutalist is just such a freaking good movie, man. So freaking good. Mr. Movie Obsession with another hopefully great question. It's the same question. Did it just show up twice? I think it might have just showed up twice. Mr. Movie Obsession on my end. Regardless, the pianist, the brutalist, the artist. I like that. Somebody else said something too. They said the journalist. That's an ist. Isn't somebody doing a movie called The Journalist? I thought somebody was working on a film called The Journalist. I might be wrong on that. If you had to leave your kids, oh great. With Sean, Cody, or 3C for a month, who are you picking? Oh, that's tough. That's a great question. That is an excellent, excellent question. Oh gosh, man. I mean, look, I love Sean to death. His restaurant selection when we've been together, it's rough, you know. His food selection, and I'm like, I don't know what my kids would be eating if they stayed with Sean, and so, but I mean, he's got the most experience with kids. I think 3C would be out, and I love 3C to death, but he's got the least experience. And frankly, right now, he's in that stage of like, oh, this is all going to be really brand new. And so he's got the least experience. Cody's got a good amount of experience too. And Cody's a hell of a chef. Every time he's sent me a picture of his food, I'm just like, why are we? And then he started that food channel, and I'm like, this dude can just do like make anything. And so I'm like, I mean, it's got to be Sean or Cody because they've got the most experience. But if we're just, and I know this isn't just about food, but if we're just talking about food, I would definitely choose Cody. And maybe that's how I'm going to decide, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I can't decide because I'm going to have to choose one. It's breaking my heart. So I'm going to say Cody Leach is who I would leave my kids with, because he can make them something absolutely spectacular. And I know for a fact he can. So that's a great question and a terrifying question at the same time. But it's an awesome question. James said, how is life? Life is amazing. Somebody said wings, definitely. Are we talking about chicken wings here? Because I love chicken wings. Chicken wings are amazing. Let's see here. We had another really good question here. Where is it? Oh, it's Rocky McFly with another super chat from Rocky McFly. What is your favorite silent movie? Mine is Modern Times. Yes, it's better than City Lights and Nosferatu 1922. It's a good question. I mean, my brain immediately wants to go to Metropolis. Metropolis is one of those movies I watched, and I was absolutely like just astonished. Like, holy smokes, I can't believe this was actually a thing in the 1930s, 20s? When did Metropolis come out? Was it the 20s or the 30s? I can't remember. But Metropolis is always kind of the one I go to. I mean, I obviously The Great Dictator, any of those Chaplin movies. Charlie Chaplin was an icon for so many reasons, but he utilized his body because he had to. Right? Nowadays, people utilize their body and their ability to showcase using expressions and movements because it's a choice or because the character relies on it, but not because they have to, unless it's a silent film. But Chaplin did it because he had to, and it was remarkable what he was able to do. And so, yeah, I think those are probably the movies I think of. Anything with Chaplin, and City Lights, and Metropolis is one of the all-time, like, holy moly. I should have also added Man with the Movie Camera to that list. That's a heck of a choice. That's a heck of a choice. But I'll give you Nosferatu. I didn't actually see that film until SpongeBob made it relevant, and then I went, because I'm like, I didn't think it was a movie. I thought it was just a SpongeBob thing, and then I was like, oh, it's actually a movie. And then they were, doing the remake, obviously 2 years ago. But it's for the time, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying for 1922. Yeah, those are some good choices there, Rocky McFly. Let's see. Wings. Oh, Wings is my favorite silent movie of all time. See, that makes sense. I thought we were talking about chicken wings. I'm like, I love chicken wings. Maybe I'm hungry tonight. That's a lie, Austin. Your favorite silent film is Return to Silent Hill. I see what you did there. What's another movie with the word silent in the title? Silence, Martin Scorsese, but that doesn't say silent. It just says silence. I don't hate the first Silent Hill movie. Obviously, I hate the new one, but I don't hate the first one. Am I your favorite subscriber? 100%. And don't tell anybody. Look, it's just me and you right now. Nobody else is here. Don't tell anyone else I said that. You are my favorite, okay? Now, if you tell anyone else, you will no longer be my favorite, but hopefully they didn't hear what I just said, okay? So hopefully they did not hear that. Let me check on the stream settings here, guys. We are currently excellent. We're excellent. Everything's looking good, sounding good, feeling good. I could go for a little bit longer. This is fun. We're having a good time here. Silent Night, Deadly Night. There you go. That's a good one. That's a movie with the word silent in it. I love that. Man, what are some good legitimate modern silent movies? Obviously, The Artist. But I don't think really there's much. What's another good modern silent movie? How often do we get a silent film nowadays? It rarely happens. We had that one where you said Silent Night, Deadly Night, but the Silent Night where the action protagonist didn't speak. So that was a pretty good one. Silent Hill Revelation. Please do another Versus video. That was fun. I really enjoyed doing that. I did Christopher Nolan versus Denis. And then I did some Oscar-specific videos a couple of years ago. I may do those again, kind of present cases for each contender, why they have a shot of winning. Who can I do that for this year? I mean, Chalamet's already got it locked up. Jesse Buckley's already got it locked up. I could see Skarsgård losing, so maybe that would be one to do it. Yeah, that's a good idea. I might bring that back. I could obviously do one for Best Picture, but it's kind of like, well, we kind of know who's going to win Best Picture. Or do we? Or do I have a secret? Is there something else happening? Maybe a little Sinner's Surge that we've not talked about on this channel. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I didn't care for The Artist. Yeah, it's definitely very specific taste, for sure. John Woo. I love me some John Woo. John Woo's done some Silent Night. John Woo. I like John Woo. Some movies that I haven't really liked from John Woo, but Silent Night's obviously a good example there. There's got to be another movie with the word silent in it. Is there one just called Silence? Yep, Scorsese. We just talked about that. Do film editing, One Battle After Another, F1. That's a good one. That's a good one, Blue Futon. Yeah. I think that would be, there are going to be some tight races this year, but it just feels like all the major categories are kind of locked up. And I'm not giving away my predictions here, but it does feel like Chalamet and Buckley in One Battle already kind of have it in the bag, to be honest. Nicholas Joseph, we're talking Oscars, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. We've got Nave Talks. Hey, Austin, just popping in. Hope your week went well. It went great. Super great. Happy. The babies are healthy. That's really all that matters to me. If my kids are doing great, if they're doing great, I'm doing great. It's I've had some little bit of a sickness going on. That's all right. Everybody's got that going on right now. Don't want to complain. As long as they're good and as long as my dog's happy, Minnie, where are you? She's at the top of the stairs. I can hear her. So as long as she's happy, then I'm happy. But I hope your week's going well as well. Hope 2026 is great so far. Dead silence. Good one. Good one. Good pull. I like Matt. I like that. That's a good pull. Ooh, Chalamet is not locked. Woo. I don't know. I would say Chalamet's pretty set. If anybody was going to overtake him, and some things could still happen. We're not done yet. If anybody was going to overtake him, though, we would have needed to see a little bit of we would have needed to see a Leo win at some point, and we've just not seen it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Who do you think will win Best Actor? It's my boy Timmy. Me and my wife just got home from Send Help. Give Raimi 10 Oscars. Love that, Crooked Shoe Tales. I love that. Yeah, that's Send Help was so fun. It's just such a fun movie. Currently sitting at my number 2 of the year spot. I can't put it over 28 years later. That the bone temple. My temple was boned. Let me tell you. All right. My temple was so boned. But it was very close. And I think both of those films surprised me, were very stylistic in their own way, and did exactly what they needed to do. But Send Help was awesome. PGA and SAG are the same weekend. If Sinners wins, Sinners wins both, it's over. I agree. I don't expect that to happen, but I agree. I think if Sinners wins PGA and SAG, Sinners is going to win Best Picture. So, what weekend is that, by the way? Let's see. PGA Awards 2026, February 26th. So we've still got about 3 weekends. And that's going to be the big determining factor, folks, because PGA and SAG are a huge deal and a huge indicator. Now, again, right now it's one battle and then the crew and the crowd. But could something overtake one battle? If it does, it's going to happen at PGA and SAG. That's when it's going to happen. Thoughts on the Oscar expert and Brother Bro's reaction to F1's Best Picture nomination? I loved it. I soaked it in. And I love those two guys. I love them. They're great. We hung out once in New York. It was fun. They're fun. Really good dudes. But I basked in their pain and suffering for a full 5 minutes. I was basking. I'm sitting there. I'm showering in their agony. It was great. I just think F1's such a fun movie. And it's such a middle finger to just the people that are like, it's too much of a dad, boring blockbuster movie. It's like, no, those movies kick ass, man. Let them have their fun. Let them come in a Best Picture. And it made its mark. And it was a huge cultural impact. I mean, my friends are still talking about F1. They're not talking about any of these other movies. They're talking about F1. And that's, it's because they probably didn't see really any other movies last year. But that's besides the point, No, it was fun to celebrate. Not only was it fun. Now, if I wouldn't have predicted F1, I wouldn't have been as excited. Because as much as I love that movie, it was just an accident. It's still a great film. And I would have been very happy with it getting into Best Picture. But because I called my shot, because I made the prediction and I said F1 was going to get a Best Picture nomination, and you laughed at me. Not you all, but everybody else. Not you, but you laughed at me. Yeah, I just thought that was funny. And so that kind of explained my insane celebration. A lot of people were like, why do you get so excited about F1? It's because I just had that feeling. Sometimes you have a feeling and you go with your gut. You say F you to all of the indicators and you're just like, I got to go with my gut. And I'm also a big sports fan. And I have a feeling a lot of the people in the award space aren't sports fans. And so sometimes in sports, the unexpected can be expected because of momentum and because you're feeling it. And all of those things were happening with F1. It had momentum. People were talking. I felt in my gut. That is the most sports thing ever. And it happened. And that's why I predicted F1, because it just reminded me of a sports underdog story. Like you just, sometimes they come out of nowhere, but sometimes it's kind of obvious. And it felt obvious to me, but again, I did go out on a limb and do it because nobody else was willing to do it. And so that was, needless to say, to answer your question, I thought their reaction was great, because their reactions are always great because they're great dudes. And where would we be without the awards expert app? I'm telling you, it's just so much fun. In case you're wondering, it's Timmy and Elordi who knocked her from second to fourth. Let me tell you, Timmy and Elordi are both two of my favorite performances of the year. Actually, I'm not going to say anything yet because I'm going to rank them here in about a day or two for you all. So stay tuned to the channel. Do you think Beauty and the Beast could have won the Oscar for Best Picture, or are you okay with The Silence of the Lambs winning Best Picture? I'm absolutely okay with The Silence of the Lambs winning Best Picture the year it did. I mean, that is one of the greatest. The thing about some of these Oscar ceremonies is you can look at the thing that lost and say, you're like, oh man, I can't believe that movie lost. But then you look at what won, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I get it. I completely understand it. It's like the year There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men came out. Someone had to lose. And it just so happens There Will Be Blood lost. Like somebody had to lose that because it's two juggernauts going up against each other. So I'm absolutely okay with that. The Best Picture 10 actually made my top 10, is actually my top 10 of 2025. See, now that's cool. How often can we say that? That is so freaking cool. The Blue Futon SAG. Timmy, Buckley, Madigan, Del Toro. Love it. The latter because they are older and will get more votes than Taylor or Elordi. I hear my dog growling up there. You guys give me 1 second. I'm going to go check on the dog because my dog is having, can you all hear that? Let's do a 30-second break, and I'm going to go check on my dog because I'm home alone, a little freaked out. Give me 1 second. Well, that was fun. Can everybody hear me? Everybody hear me all right? We still here? We still hanging out? Well, apparently one of my neighbor's dogs was escaping through the neighborhood, and I walked up there, and my dog, just flipping out, looking out the window like, hey, what are we doing here? There's a dog running through the road, and my neighbor's running in a robe searching for their dog, and she ended up grabbing it and taking it. That could have been a movie. I should have taken the camera. God, why didn't I take the camera up there and record that? That was spectacular. But Minnie's fine. She's calmed down. I think she noticed a spare dog, and she got a little freaked out. But we're good now. Everything's fine. TJ said, I'm still here. We're still here. Hey, I'm still here. Great movie. Great movie, by the way. What's your most anticipated movie trailer that might be shown during the Super Bowl? Well, I'll tell you what I liked, Stephen. I really liked the trailer, the tease. Actually, there are a couple. Let me go see if I can find both of them that I liked. The one that I saw today for Project Hail Mary. Let me see if I can find it here. Make sure it was a tease. Yeah, so this was a tease for the big game spot. And I'm glad it was just a tease, because you know what I hate more than anything is when commercials come out before the Super Bowl, and then they claim to be a Super Bowl trailer. I'm like, or a Super Bowl commercial. And I'm like, no. You came out before the Super Bowl. Do not claim to be a big game commercial or a big game spot. You came out before. Wait and let me see you during the Super Bowl. It's the worst. I hate it. So what Project Hail Mary did is it put out a tease today, and it teased the Super Bowl trailer. And let me tell you, I did not know that Greg Fraser was the cinematographer on this film. I feel dumb because, I make a heavy effort to know as much as I can about every movie. And for some reason, it just slipped through the cracks that Greg Fraser was shooting this film. And I'm thinking, how did I not know that? But also, why has it not looked that good until now? Like, this tease was wonderful. It looked so good. It's bright. It's colorful. The cinematography in space looks fantastic. It's just one of those things where I'm baffled. Like, I didn't know it was going to look this good. And so now, because I haven't loved the trailers so far, but I'm hearing this movie is remarkable. Like, from people that I trust, I'm hearing this movie is awesome. And so hearing it's awesome, seeing that tease today, that is the trailer I'm looking forward to the most, because I need something to win me over. There's nothing's won me over yet, other than the cast and the crew and now Greg Fraser. But that teaser was beautiful. So I hope the movie the movie delivers on that. I really do. Someone said, "Go Brazil." Are we talking Super Bowl here? Or I assume you're talking the Olympics, but because Brazil is not in the Super Bowl. Let's see here. The Disney Nerd. What's going on? Hi, Burke. How you doing? Doing wonderful. Just watched Reservoir Dogs for the first time today. Gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Solid film, but I didn't really vibe with it. What are your thoughts on the film? I really, really like Reservoir Dogs. Not my favorite under that banner. And a lot of people, not most, but I'd say a lot of people say it's like a top. Actually, let me see. Where does it rank for me on my list? Let's see. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. Or maybe it is a 5 out of 5. Let me see. Where does it rank on my Tarantino dogs here? Yeah, not my top 3. Not my top 3. But that's okay. I still think it's a really good movie. We all encounter those films that everyone says is great and is a classic and is that like defining movie of the generation. And not that everyone says it about Reservoir Dogs, but some people have said it's the best. It's the most, which again, not my favorite Tarantino film. I would absolutely put 3 or 4 of his movies. I mean, just off the top of my head, Django and Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Bastards, those are my 3 favorites. But Reservoir Dogs is a really great movie. It's a great movie. I just think it has maybe been a little overinflated over the years, and for you to feel it like that's not one that I vibed with, I understand that. I really understand that for sure. I'm parched. I don't know why I'm so parched. Super Bowl commercials and trailers have no wow factor because social media releases them early. Nicholas, I completely agree with that. Completely. Can Project Hail Mary get a Best Picture nomination? I believe so. If it's as good as I'm hearing it is, I believe it will. It's because of the Oscars, not because of sports. Oh, go Brazil. I got you. Go Brazil. I got you with The Secret Agent. Hey, great movie, by the way. Love me The Secret Agent. I've missed Mikey Madison on my screen. She's picking her projects wisely, though. Got to respect her for that. Absolutely. What is your favorite movie-going experience and your favorite musical theater-going experience on stage, coming from a musical theater nerd? Man. Oh, man. I don't know what my favorite... I've never, sat down and thought about my favorite musical theater experience. Oh, man, I don't know. That would be a good short, though. I've probably seen 11 or 2. I mean, I've seen all the classics. I've seen all the Shakespeare's. I saw the big Lion King. Man, I don't know what my number one would be, though, because I haven't seen Hamilton. I haven't seen, the GOATs. I haven't seen, what a lot of people would consider the GOATs. But my number one overall, I don't have one that truly stands out as, oh yeah, that's definitely number one. I assume it would be Hamilton if I saw Hamilton or some of the other more notable ones, but I'd have to sit and think about that. That's a heck of a question, though. What is your favorite movie going experience of all time? It's another one I got to think about, but I'm going to give you an answer here. I've just got to. Well, I'll walk through them. I'll walk through the ones that stand out. So childhood. I loved, and I don't love the movie, but my experience of seeing The Hobbit. Oh my gosh, what happened to my words? My experience of going and seeing The Hobbit for the first time. That was back when they did midnight premieres. And so they don't do that anymore. Now the movie comes out at 4:00 on a Thursday. That's the premiere. But midnight premieres used to be the best. They were awesome. And The Hobbit was a midnight premiere. We left that theater at 4 a.m. because the movie didn't start until 12:30. And then you've got a 3-hour experience. Dude, that was insane. That was so cool. I was with all my high school friends, all my high school nerdy friends. We had just watched Lord of the Rings, the entire trilogy, not the extended edition because we're dumb high schoolers, but we had just watched Lord of the Rings trilogy the week before. The Hobbit buildup was insane, and we went and watched it, and we were like, but I will say the next one was just as good. I wasn't a big fan of the third Hobbit film, okay? But The Desolation of Smaug was just as good of an experience. That was also a midnight premiere. So I'd say for some reason, and I don't overwhelmingly love those movies, and I do think the first one's way too long, but it's kind of like midnight premiere, all your friends are there, everybody's dressed up, that kind of thing. That was amazing. I could easily go with the Marvel films. Feels like most of my favorite movie-going experiences have been Marvel films. The first Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War was a huge deal for me. Saw that with all of my friends. No Way Home was awesome because all of my friends got together and all of their wives, which, this doesn't really happen that often because not everybody gets along all the time. Not our friends, but everybody surrounding. And so we got everybody together. Half the wives fell asleep. They didn't care. But me and my 3 buddies were geeking out, freaking out. My wife was awake, of course, because she had watched them all with me. But we were freaking out over what happened in No Way Home. That was awesome. And so I could say Marvel. Now, when you get into the cinematic side of my brain, the artistic side, I go back to 1917. What a spectacular. Drove all the way to Nashville. My very first early screening. 1917. But it wasn't it wasn't like I was super official, legit. I didn't know what I was doing. And so it was kind of the fear of going to an early screening, the excitement level, kind of knowing this was my type of movie, but not understanding entirely what it was going to be. I sat with a whole group of people who were all super excited about it. We were blown away. I laughed. I cried. I didn't laugh because of the movie. I laughed because of the experience. And it was such an awesome experience. I go all the way back to, and this wasn't like, I was too young to appreciate it. Okay. But I did see No Country for Old Men in theaters in 2007. I was only 12 or 13. Okay. I was way too young to appreciate it. I did not watch it with my parents. I watched it with my friend. His name was Zachary. He was like, I'm going to go watch this movie because, we lived in a small town. Nobody really cared how old you were. You could sneak into any movie you wanted to. And we paid for it, obviously, but we knew people. So they let us watch whatever we wanted. And not understanding the gravity of the film, because I was only 12, so I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. But part of my brain was like, this is kind of what you're supposed to do. And I didn't know what that meant, but this is kind of what you're supposed to do. Like, you're supposed to talk about this. And I didn't understand it at the time. Years later, it's like 2011, 2012. I was talking with a friend, and I was still in high school. I was talking with a friend, and I was like, and he was asking, he was like, did you sneak into movies or watch movies that you weren't supposed to watch to? And I was like, yeah, me and Zach, we watched No Country for Old Men, and I haven't really watched it since. And so I went back and watched it. I think it was junior year of high school, I believe. And I went back and watched it. And I said, that's a monumental movie. Then I get into college and I really start to appreciate what that film is and what it represents. And so, not necessarily the very first experience being this game-changing thing, because I was way too young to appreciate it, but it's just understanding what that meant to me at the time and what it means to me now is really cool to reflect on. I'm rambling, TJ. That's a great question. But I could go on for days about my favorite theatrical experiences. Uncut Gems is another one. Ghost Story. Watched that one with my wife, with a bunch of people who thought they were watching a horror movie. It was not a horror movie. They hated it, but my wife and I loved it. That's one of my favorite theatrical experiences. And so I've got a lot. I could talk for days. Have you seen Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die? I have not, but I am seeing it this upcoming week on Wednesday, something like that. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited for that movie. I can't wait. I believe it's Tuesday. I'm also seeing The GOAT tomorrow, which is the new animated movie. So I'm excited for that. Jason says, go Hawks. Yeah, go Hawks. Beat the Patriots. All right. I don't really care about the Seahawks. I want them to beat the Patriots. So don't prevent them from getting more Super Bowls than Pittsburgh, please. And thank you. We have 6. They have 6. I would prefer them not to go to 7. So if that's the case, go Hawks, baby. Let's go. Man, I'm so thirsty. Who's your favorite Spider-Man actor and why? I got to go with Tobey. A lot of it's nostalgia, admittedly. I believe Tom Holland is probably the perfect marriage of the two. Tobey is the best Spider-Man. Andrew is the best Peter Parker. Tom Holland is the most beautiful blend. That's what I've always said. And so whenever we get a fourth person, it's going to be really hard to say what they are, unless they're just the overall best. But that's kind of how I feel about all 3 Spider-Man actors. But Tobey's my nostalgia goat. Like, he's the guy that I grew up with and loved. How's The Secret Agent 2025? What's going on? Thanks for being here. Thanks for asking questions. I like seeing your name in the chat. Very good. It's not what I expected, but you've got a lights out performance by Mora. You've got a story that's being told in a very interesting way. Not only are we spending a lot of time in the past, and you've got this amazing 70s aesthetic and vibe and the way it's filmed, and it's very old school. The way this movie is made, very old school, but also very Brazil, which I can appreciate. But once you actually start kind of seeing the storytelling technique come to life, and the movie progresses in such an interesting way, and then the way that this film ends, I thought was amazing. And so it's great. It was Borderline top 10 movie of last year for me. It's very, very great. What do you think of Wuthering Heights and The Bluff coming out this month? Have I seen the trailer for The Bluff? Let's see. The Bluff. I think I saw that. Did I see that trailer? Yeah, I mean, The Bluff is an Amazon Prime movie, so it's really hard to it's hard to know if it's going to be good or not. That said, I do love Tamora Morrison. I love Carl Urban. Wuthering Heights is interesting because Wuthering Heights, it's not really the type of movie that I'm normally the biggest fan of, but I do think there's something about the trailer that's kind of mesmerizing. And I've become a huge fan of Jacob Elordi, like a huge fan, a massive fan. And so I don't really know how to feel about it because, again, let's go look at it. Let's go see who the rest of the cast is. Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights. Here we go. Is it even pulling up? So, obviously, Margot Robbie. Amazing. Emerald Fennell is one of those directors. Saltburn, I was a little not up and down. I didn't love it as much as I think people wanted me to love it. I liked it. I thought it was good, but I wanted a little more out of it at the end. That said, Wuthering Heights looks like it could be something like this crazy, visceral, mesmerizing experience. Somebody said, Nicholas said, I'm reading the Wuthering Heights book. I'm no longer that much excited. It's not a romance at all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not. We don't want to spoil things. Let's not spoil things, please. I know it's in the book, but maybe the movie will go in a different direction. Don't want to know those things. Let's not do that. But sorry, I shouldn't have put that on the screen. That's my bad. Because I haven't read the book. But I'm a huge fan of Promising Young Woman. And I think Emerald Fennell is I just saw a comment. I'll get it here in a second. I think Emerald Fennell is a very talented director. I really do. And so I'm interested to see what Wuthering Heights is. It does look like it could be a movie that wins me over at the end of the day. Somebody said, by the way, everybody who's here right now, first of all, thanks for being here. Thank you all for the super chats. Thanks for hanging out. If you all want to drop a like on this video, it helps the channel. It helps these live streams. This is the first time we went live in months because I've got a newborn. But we're going to start doing this a lot more, and we're going to be doing members-only live streams. You heard that right. Members-only live streams. We got our first couple of members on the channel last week. I've already spoken to them and kind of told them what's coming. So if you guys want to become members, we're going to do some members-only live streams. Hopefully next week-ish. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep answering questions. Seahawks or Patriots on Sunday? I got to go with Seahawks. I am obviously biased against the Patriots because I don't want them getting 7 Super Bowls because Pittsburgh has 7 Super Bowls, and they are. I like them being at the top. But I do think the Seahawks have the better team. They're more well-rounded. The Worry injury is concerning because he's a stud rookie safety that I really wanted Pittsburgh to take a better look at. The dude is outstanding. But I just love they've got, pun intended, ball hawks. They got a great secondary, really good front line. I just love the way their offense moves, man. They're really going to miss him next year when he goes to the Raiders. Really going to miss him. But I've got Seahawks this year. I think they ended on the right note. I think they beat the Patriots. I think Drake May has a better game. He's not had the best playoffs, but, neither did Ben Roethlisberger when they won the Super Bowl in 2005. So it's one of those things. This is what I was laughing about earlier. My dog chewed up my Dead Reckoning 4K, so I ordered a new one, and it didn't come with the slip cover. I don't mean to laugh at your pain. I let a friend borrow my Oppenheimer 4K, and I still don't have it back. And this was like 2 months ago, and I'm like, and not that I need it right now, but I'm just kind of like, hey, you're going to give me my 4K back? I love you. I trust you, but you're going to give me my 4K back? And so that's kind of how I feel right now about my 4K, my Oppenheimer 4K. Let's see. Do you think Project Hail Mary can be better than The Martian? I do. It's going to take a lot, though, because The Martian was one of my favorite movies of that year, one of the better movies of that decade. Like, I thought The Martian was outstanding. And so it's going to take a lot. Top 3 comic book movies ever: The Dark Knight, Logan, and The Batman. That's a great list. It's a great list. I would not put The Batman on my list of top 3, maybe top 10, maybe top 10. I don't think it quite has the rewatchability of The Dark Knight or even a Logan. But I do think The Batman is an outstanding film and does stand out as one of the best movies of this decade, which is great. I would say, off the top of my head, I'd have to think about it, I'd say The Dark Knight, Logan, and either Across the Spider-Verse, Infinity War. I mean, yeah, I guess The Batman could be in that conversation. I do love it. I do love it. Yeah. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, those would probably be the ones in that conversation for me. I like Days of Future Past a lot. I think Days of Future Past is amazing. It's an amazing film. Not enough people talk about it in terms of the greatest comic book movies of all time. And I understand we don't want to talk about the director, but you know, it's an amazing movie. And so those are some good choices, though. I really like those choices. Sorry, Austin casting Jacob Elordi as a character who's non-white proves she doesn't understand the non-romantic elements of the story. See, I don't know anything about the who's white, who's non-white. I don't know anything about the book, so it personally doesn't bother me. I would understand if I'd read the book, but I don't know anything about that, frankly. And so I'm kind of going into it with more of a I don't know anything about the book. So I'm kind of like, yeah, it's Jacob Elordi. I love him. So that's what I'm going to carry into it. Carey Mulligan should have won back in 2020. I think I agree. I loved Promising Young Woman. I thought that was a great movie. So I've got to hit got an early day tomorrow, but thanks for talking with us. Catch you on the next one. Thank you for being here, my friend. Thanks for the super chats, the amazing questions. Just having fun with us talking movies, man. I really do appreciate it. So good night. If it's late, y'all, you don't have to stay up with us. I'm just enjoying this. I'm having a good time. So I've kept it going a little longer than normal. What are your top 3 favorite sci-fi movies? Oh my God. Off the top of my head. I mean, technically I've got a list of all-time movies, so I could just go separate it by sci-fi films. Let's see. Okay. Lord of the Rings is fantasy. Doesn't count. In no particular order, okay? I'm going in no order. Listen to me. No order. I'm going Dune Part 2. I'm going Interstellar. I'm going Arrival. Those are my top 3 all-time favorite sci-fi movies. That is such a evident bias of Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, and I hate the fact that I feel that way. But what am I supposed to do, y'all? Look, and I get it. It's the whole oh, well, you don't appreciate any. Look, I love Kubrick. Kubrick's phenomenal. But I think those 3 are my favorites. Like, I don't know what else to, I don't know. What else could I throw on there? Mad Max Fury Road. That's sci-fi, right? That's a sci-fi film. Obviously, Empire Strikes Back. I would consider Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I mean, that's kind of a science fiction, more of a romance, but I could throw that in there. And let's see here. And I'm looking on my list. So the movies that Blade Runner, another Denis Villeneuve film. I would say that's more horror. I would say that's more of a thriller. Terminator 2 is up there. Terminator 2 might be in that conversation of top 3 for me. T2 is an all-time movie in general, not just an all-time sci-fi movie. Obviously, Back to the Future. Obviously. That is the stepstone sci-fi movie that you have to clear that to even get, or you have to get close to clearing that to even get in the conversation. So a great question with so many answers. I'm just kind of looking through this list here. of films that I would consider. Oh my God, there's so many good movies on this list. Holy moly. Oh, wow. Stalker. Stalker's sci-fi, right? That's definitely sci-fi. Yeah, because it's yeah. Stalker's one of the greatest films of all time. If you guys haven't seen that, Tarkovsky's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Here we go. Primer is my favorite sci-fi. Good choice. Good choice. I live, I die, I live, I die, I live again. Do you think Toy Story 5 could be as good as the others? And do you think a sixth film is possible? I do think a sixth film is possible. And I don't think it'll be as good as the first three, but I definitely think it could be better than 4. What's your favorite sketch comedy show? You know, I used to say Key and Peele, and that's still probably my number 1, but I think You Should Leave is so freaking good. Tim Robinson's becoming one of my all-time favorites. Mad TV is a classic too. But Tim Robinson, I think You Should Leave. That is a remarkable sketch show. But Key and Peele's kind of the GOAT of this generation. If Dune Messiah is just as good or somehow better than the first 2 films, do you think it could surpass Lord of the Rings? Probably not for me. Probably not for me. I recently, my wife and I recently went back and watched Lord of the Rings, and it's just so perfect. And I'm actually like rethinking my all-time list right now because I think I have 2 Towers too low, like way too low. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. I don't think it would for me personally, but maybe it'll get close. If the third one's by far the best and is knocking on the door of Return of the King, then we'll have a conversation. Infinity War is overrated. Wow, the Batman is better. Oh, I disagree. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's properly rated, to be honest with you. Long time no time. Hey, what's going up, Andy? What's going on, my friend? Thanks for being here. I haven't seen Andy in a while. Long-time pal of the channel. I appreciate it. I've seen Infinity War 58 times. Someone asked another question. Oh, here we go. Austin, you ain't replying. Sorry. Lot of questions. Unless it's a super chat, I don't see them, all of them. But that's why I've been trying to make an effort to get to the super chats today. I think we've gotten to all of them today, I believe. Even sometimes I don't see the super chats. Is Fallout Season 2 any good? I have only watched the first 4 episodes, so I can't speak to that. I've loved the first 4 episodes. I think they're great. But it's one of those things where so many movies to watch right now, so many TV shows to watch. It's hard to keep up. But I've thoroughly enjoyed what I've seen so far. And so my friend, Chris, my bud, he has told me numerous times that Fallout Season 2, and he usually is not ahead of me on stuff, but he's ahead of me on this one. He said Fallout Season 2 is way better than Season 1. Way better. And I trust his judgment because he plays video games. He understands the world. He said it's way better. And so I'm going to trust him on this one, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot so far. Who is better comedic actor, Adam Sandler or Jim Carrey, in your opinion? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I love Adam. I love the Sandman. I'm always defending him, even though I hate half of his Netflix movies. I defend him because I think he's a great actor. Jim Carrey is my GOAT. Jim Carrey is my GOAT. From what he did on In Living Color, from what he did on his comedy sketches and his stage shows, even before he was in the movies, and then his run. It's one of the greatest runs of all time. The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura. I loved Ace Ventura 2. Liar, Liar. Then he goes on and does Eternal Sunshine. It's just like, God, what a run. What a run. One of the greatest comedic runs of all time. Then he turns around, knocks her socks off with Eternal Sunshine. I mean, numerous great dramatic performances. Even the movie like The Cable Guy, which wasn't super beloved at the time. I think that one's kind of an underrated gem. And so I'll tell you what, I love Jim Carrey so much. I think he's absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Let's keep going here. We've got, did you know what's going on here? Infinity War is overglazed. Oh, I can immediately see how old you are. Overglazed. And talked about way too much and praised way too much. It's a fact. It's a fact. Oh, it's a fact, isn't it? That's not how it works. But the word glaze, whenever somebody says glaze, I'm like, you're not 30, are you? Let's see. Did you know Regular Show and Adventure Time's coming back again in 2026? I love Regular Show. I would assume you do too, because you have the Regular Show profile picture. I think Regular Show is freaking spectacular. One of the most inventive, witty, hilarious, escalating animated shows of all time. And I'm super excited to see it come back. I love it so much. Austin, what is the main reason, beside the divisive ending of the film, that the Bone Temple's box office is a failure? Short release time, yes. Weather, yeah, I believe weather factored into it. Similar title. Would love to hear your take. I think the marketing was bad for the Bone Temple. First of all, not a lot of people liked it. The last one, 28 years later from 2025. Not a lot of people liked it. I mean, obviously you have people that liked it, but it was very divisive. From people that I've talked to outside of the movie space, they were just very disappointed. Then you got the Bone Temple's trailer, which wasn't great compared to 28 years later trailer, which was great. And then the movie was just good for me, but not good for a lot of people. I think the marketing sucked for the Bone Temple. And I think the release date was strange, even though it made sense for it to make money. But I also believe the last one's failure impacted this one, or not failure, but failure to live up to that amount of hype. And so I think it's a combination of things. But I would blame the last movie for the lack of success for the Bone Temple. I think the Bone Temple is fantastic. It's an awesome movie. It's my #1 film of the year so far. But it was just hurt heavily by what happened. Jim Carrey is an actual thespian, unlike Sandler. I mean, I think Sandler's proven that he's got the chops. I think he's got the chops. But I see what you're saying. Jim Carrey is just, when that guy is on it, he's on it. Art isn't always subject cut. I don't know what that means. The excuse and glaze. Oh, glaze. Oh, so now we've got what a glaze and whatever that other word you used. Space Padre is rage baiting. Space Padre. 18? 19? Is that, am I right there? I can just tell the age. I can tell the age. Wow. Space Padre. No, art isn't subjective. That's like school grades too. I don't even know what he's saying at this point. That's okay. The only glaze I want to hear about is Krispy Kreme. See, when I was growing up, glaze was just like glaze on a donut. Now the kids are saying words like glazing, and I'm just like, yeah, all right. They're just making stuff up. That's okay. I used to make stuff up too, but that's all right. Oh, we got another one here. Let's see what they got. Movie reviews are like school grades. Enjoyment is personal, but structure, clarity, and execution can still be evaluated against shared standards. That sounds like you grokked that answer. That said, I agree somewhat, which is why Infinity War is freaking fantastic. Boom, baby. I'm glazing it. Just so much glaze. I have 2 kids now. I can make dad jokes. I also love The Ballad of Wallace Island. Thanks for the recommendation. You're welcome. I think that's a fantastic movie. I recommended it to my mom the other night. I highly doubt she watched it because she tends to fall asleep during movies, and she was by herself, so I know for a fact she would have fallen asleep. But Ballad of Wallace Island is one of those films that is just so special. It's special. It's simple. It's easy. It's sweet. It's kind. It has a very similar vibe, and it's a very different type of movie, but a similar vibe to Sing Street. When I first saw Sing Street, I said, that made me feel something that I haven't felt all year. And then I watched Ballad of Wallace Island last year, and I'm like, that made me feel something I haven't felt all year, which is really cool. And so it's a wonderful film. Can you do a poll about Infinity War being overrated or not? Sure. Let's see if I can go in here and do this. Let's see if I can do this on the go here. In overrated or not. Here we go. Yes. Overrated. Not. All right. Let's start poll. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Is Infinity War overrated or not? All right. I love it. I love it. Let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at the knots. Look at the knots. There are so many knots. Wow. Can I declare a winner yet? I mean, I think we're going to declare a winner. I think we're going to declare a winner because we've got a lot of knots. Amazing. Amazing. But listen, like James said, Infinity War is just a little bit overrated. I get that. I get that. Space Padre just got cooked. I think Space Padre is a little young, which is fine. It's absolutely okay. But eventually, Space Padre, you're going to understand that your opinion does not hold the most weight. Everyone's opinion in some way, shape, or form is equal. It's just how well can you explain or back your opinion? And I think your explanation has come off with a little bit of hatred and disdain. I think we need to scale that back just a little bit for people to take you a little more seriously. But I appreciate the passion and I appreciate the willingness to be a troll. I appreciate that. But the constantly repeating yourself and saying the same thing over and over, I feel like we've moved past that in 2026. That's like 2014 YouTube comments, it's just which you may not have even been alive in 24. That was a joke. You were alive. You were probably just very young in 2014. It's okay. It's okay. And your opinion does hold weight. It's just how well can you explain yourself? How well can you explain yourself? And I think we've got, let's look at, so 86%. Not. I believe not is the winner here. That was fun. That was fun. We need to do more polls while we do this. Do you think Iron Lung is going to collapse the box office this weekend like the tracker suggests it will? I wouldn't use the word collapse. I would use the word it'll be a fairly significant drop, but even with a fairly significant drop, I mean, we've already seen it quadruple its budget. I mean, just like the run that it's on right now. So even if it does drop significantly, I think that's okay. I think that's absolutely okay. But I do think it surprises some people and makes more money than people expect. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe that. Let's see here. Logan is overrated. Superman is overrated. Woo! Spicy. What is your favorite so bad it's good movie? Oh, it's The Cat in the Hat. Yeah. Yeah, it's The Cat in the Hat. There's no doubt about that. I'm feline turpentine. I think it's just such a good bad movie, man. So much fun. Did we have the same argument about Infinity War a few streams back? Maybe Rocky McFly. We might have. It's very possible. I love it. But I do think there is an argument to be made that Infinity War is overrated. I just don't think it was made very well by Space Padre. But that's okay. That's okay. Have you seen Whistle yet? No, that's the one I didn't get to see this weekend. I watched Dracula, and then I saw The Strangers Chapter 3, which I just put that review on this channel. It's on my shorts page. Don't watch it. It's not very good. But I do want to see Whistle. That's the one that I've actually been most excited about. But I can't get my car out of the driveway right now, so my brother's got to pick me up for the Goat movie tomorrow until my wife gets back because she's got the nice vehicle. Did my boy Space Padre just leave? Oh man, Space Padre's gone. No, I'm not asking for it to fail. I loved Iron Lung. I just don't see it dropping to nearly the extent that various groups are saying and needed a second opinion. I do think they are kind of overplaying how much that movie is going to drop second weekend. I genuinely believe that. And I feel like people are rooting against it in general because it not being available on certain websites, showing the weekend box office, and then they're not putting it, at number one, that just kind of leaving it out of the list until later in the day. I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? A YouTuber just self-financed a movie, and it almost beat Send Help at the weekend box office. This should be every headline right now. The guy has outgrossed Sam Raimi's newest movie several times. And I didn't love Iron Lung. I thought it was a little boring. But I'm rooting for it because I think it's really cool that he was able to do that. And I think it's an amazing story. I want to see the movie about the making of Iron Lung. That's what I want to see. Because I think that's more interesting, to be honest with you, how he was able to do this. And so I think it's really cool what he's been doing. I think a lot of people are kind of hating on it a little bit too much. Somebody said he's mad he was wrong. Yeah, I don't want to pile on the poor guy. It's just, glazing, and I kind of like that. I'm going to start using the word glazing. Let's glaze some movies. You guys want to glaze things? I want a donut. The Room is the best bad movie. Mr. Obsession 199 super chat. Thank you, Mr. Obsession, Mr. Movie Obsession, for the super chat. That's a great choice. The Cat in the Hat, The Room. What was the John Travolta movie? There have been two. I think there were two John Travolta movies. Do you guys remember the name of the two John Travolta movies recently that were just atrocious movies, but they were, one of them at least was kind of entertaining. Not Face Off. This was a very recent Gotti. Yes. Gotti. That might be so bad it's good. So bad it's good. It's so atrocious it's kind of fun to watch. You could say that about War of the Worlds last year. It was so garbage that it was kind of entertaining to, to sit back and watch. Yeah, Gotti, great example there. Send Help was awesome. I agree. Send Help was awesome. I had a great time with it. Let's see here, guys. The Cat in the Hat was directed by Catherine O'Hara's husband, Bo Welch, who was Tim Burton's production designer. I didn't know that, Nicholas. Thank you for letting me know. That's interesting. I did not know that. Cat in the Hat was directed by Catherine O'Hara's husband. Interesting. Wow. You learn something new every day. This shows you I've never looked at who directed Cat in the Hat because, frankly, it could have been anyone directed Cat in the Hat. It could have been Steven Spielberg because that's how amazing that movie is. Why do you think the Bone Temple bombed? Well, we just talked about this. I think it's a combination of bad reception to the prior movie, bad trailer, bad marketing, but an exceptional movie. It's just enough people didn't see it. And I think it was a little too late at that point, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, and yes, we mentioned Catherine O'Hara. Rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara. That was really like someone who seems just so full of life. Like, how is that person not here anymore? I don't know. The older I get, the more I just start thinking about things and getting sad and just like, I don't know, man. It makes me sad to think about some of these actors and actresses who are getting older, and they're obviously, we're getting to the point where we're losing a lot of people from that generation, and it makes me really sad. I don't know. It makes me very sad. And then I think about my grandparents and kind of their age, and I'm just like, man, I don't know. I think about that kind of stuff sometimes. It really makes me sad. Life is fragile, and I never understood how fragile life was until I turned 30, and I started getting all these issues, these back problems. And people always told me, they were like, hey, man, it's going to happen. You just wait for it. Like, all this stuff is going to catch up to you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm youthful. I'm full of life. And then I kid you not, the second I turned 30, I threw out my back. And I'm like, I didn't even know I could throw out my back. Like, I always thought people made that up. And then I had to carry around one of those little things to the movie theater because my back hurt so bad for 3 weeks. And I'm like, no, this is legit. People, you become more fragile. And 30 is the age. Legit. That's the age. I can't believe it is, but it is. Yeah. Tick, tick, boom. Looking at it. It's true. And I hate to say that it's true because I always kind of giggled. I was like, that's kind of silly, but it's true. And it sucks. And I've got some medical things going on right now, and I'm just like, why is this happening to me? Because I've always been a pretty healthy guy. Oh boy, not great. Not great. I'm 48. Just wait. Let me tell you. I believe it. I believe it. I absolutely believe it. I used to laugh, and now I'm not. I ain't laughing. I ain't laughing now. I understand. It sucks. Really sucks. Rocky McFly. I know it's nostalgia speaking, but the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie is a guilty pleasure, and I think it's the best bad movie. That's a great choice. That's a great choice. That's the exact kind of film that I think we need for this type of discussion, because it's got, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's so off. It's just so off compared to what the Mario Brothers is. You could look at a lot of movies from that era too, like Superman 4, Quest for Peace, Supergirl, some of these really bad sci-fi movies. It's just, and there were some great sci-fi movies too at that time, but the bad ones were extra bad, but they were almost so bad that there's an element of fun to them. There's an element of fun to that. And so I find it to be very interesting going back and revisiting a lot of those older movies. And Super Mario Brothers movie, Rocky McFly, I remember watching that and thinking, what on God's green earth is this? Like, what in the world is this? Ridiculous. But I could see an element of fun to that too. And maybe if I ever rewatch that, that'll be kind of the way that I look at it, because I've never really looked at it that way. I vote for Norbit. Fun fact. Oh, Mr. Penguin. Let me go look and make sure your super chat came through. Fun fact. Norbit is one of the only movies I've ever walked out of, except I didn't walk out. My parents walked out, and I was a child, and so I went out with them. But we walked out of Norbit. And listen, kids, in case you didn't know, you can walk out of a movie as long as you don't review it afterwards. If you review a movie that you walked out of, I think you've just kind of tarnished a lot, to be honest with you. And someone did that recently. They walked out of a movie and then they reviewed it. And I'm thinking, no, you can't do that. You can't do it. It's just, it's such a slap in the face to everyone who has sat in our, as a movie critic, who has sat and endured painful shite for years. Like, I had to sit through Cats, okay? I sat through Cats for the good of mankind. And I wanted to get up and leave. But I'm like, nope, got to finish it because I'm a movie critic and I got to review this thing. But some people apparently don't feel that way. So, I don't know. Just something to think about. Oscar-nominated Norbit. Oscar-nominated Norbit. Yeah, how crazy is that? Mr. Penguin, I found your super chat. I scrolled up a little bit. It did not star it on my StreamYard for some reason. So bad StreamYard. Let me see. Here we are. Yeah, Mr. Penguin. I love when Mr. Penguin comes in here. Hey, Austin, I've really been enjoying my anime run this year. Just enjoying character arcs and stories that don't feel fulfilled. I have seen 4 movies and 3 series. I would love to know, Mr. Penguin, what movies and what series have you seen? I have not watched one piece of anime this year. Last anime that I watched was, I think I rewatched the Demon Slayer movie in late November. That's the last anime anything that I watched. And I wanted to make sure that it didn't need to be higher on my I loved it, by the way. I thought Infinity, but it's just a part 1. We're going to see what happens in the next few parts, and maybe we could have a top 10 contender with the next movie. But yeah, I need to get back on the anime train. My friend is getting really hyped right now over the Dragon Ball news and the Hans Zimmer collaboration with the little 5-minute thing that they did, and just in general bringing back certain voice actors. It's really cool what they're doing with Dragon Ball. So if you guys are big Dragon Ball fans, I encourage you to check out the latest news on it, and the new series should be amazing. I hope it's amazing. I wish I could figure out how to cover anime on this channel more. I've just never figured out how to do it exactly in a timely manner. But yeah, that's very, I think anime's, it just brings something different to the table. It brings something different to the table. Because, you can get bored of watching the same old thing, the same old American animation. And I feel like anytime I watch anime and then I go watch like Invincible, I'm just like, why can't Invincible look like this? I love Invincible. Why can't it look like this? So it's kind of depressing, to be honest with you. Mr. Penguin, Chainsaw Man, Perfect Blue, Your Name. Oh, Your Name. And The Boy and the Heron. God, I love Your Name so much. It's so good. It's so good. So good. That was one of my favorite movies of that year. 2016, right? Was that Your Name? 2016, I believe. At least that's when it released in the States. I saw No Other Choice Thursday, 9 out of 10. Amazing film. As someone who is still waiting to get a job interview after 20 applications submitted. I get it, Nicholas. I completely get it. When I graduated from college, I sat for 3 months, 4 months trying to get a job, and I ended up landing a good gig, a government gig, which was interesting. But something I can't talk about. But that was fun. But it took forever. It's such a strenuous, tedious process. You're not alone. My brother finally got a job. Finally, but it took him 7 months after graduating college. We let him live with us. My wife and I let him live with us for 7 months, and he paid us rent. And then obviously we had our kids. But man, let me tell you, it's tough. It's tough out there. So No Other Choice is a very relatable film in that way. I'll tell you that. Your Name is top 4 favorites for me. It's a magnificent movie. It's just magnificent. It really is. You got proven wrong by everybody, and all you can say is people are biased or fanboys. Make a point about the movie. Who are we talking about here? Who said what here? Who said what? Oh, Space Padres back. Oh no. Oh, here we go. I didn't get cooked. Only biased fanboys says not in the poll. That doesn't even make sense. Only biased fanboys who thinks bigger means better when it doesn't quit being blinded by. Okay, Space Padre. We're gonna have to work on the grammar here. All right, let's work on the grammar. I don't know. Space Padre. I'm in my 20s. Well, it's definitely lower 20s because we're it's definitely lower 20s. It's okay. It's all right. Look, I don't want to make fun of anybody. We're okay. We're working on it. We're figuring it out. Space Padre's got a lot to figure out. I believe the brain develops at the age of 25. So some people hit that quicker. Some people hit that quicker. We'll see where Space Padre's at here in a couple years. It was a full story. Thanos won, Avengers lost. It's also part 1 of a 2-part sport. Yeah, I there's no sense in arguing. There's only biased fanboys voted on the poll. It's pretty magnificent. I want more people to talk about Primal. Yeah, doesn't we get a new season this year, right? And I think that's something that I'm going to try and cover. I believe I got an email regarding Primal, and I think there's actually a chance that I can get let me go look here. I think there's a chance I can get I think I can get a screening here. Screeners available, advanced screeners available. When did I get this email? Oh, when does the new season's already premiered. Holy smokes. It's already premiered. Wow. I didn't even know, guys. Holy moly. Let's see. How many episodes have we gotten? Yeah, so I did get an email, and I obviously didn't take advantage of that. So the next episode is Sunday. How many episodes have we gotten so far? We've gotten 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got a month to catch up here. Yeah, I'm going to have to catch up. Oh, man. We've already got new episodes. Look at me. Look at me. And I missed a chance. I had an email on January 5th said advanced screeners available for season 3. Oh, and I missed my opportunity. Brutal. I suck. That's what a 2-month-old will get you, guys. That's what a 2-month-old will get you. Pain and suffering. No, I love her to death. But but yeah, that's dang. I can't believe I missed that. I can't believe I missed that. Austin, I've never seen you chat this spicy before. I know. It's kind of fun. I'm kind of enjoying it. I need more trolls in my life. It's like Amelia Perez. Last year we had Amelia Perez, and she was the villain, right? And I could attack the villain. And now we got a troll, and I'm attacking the troll. I need more trolls and villains. We need another Amelia Perez. Are you seeing Solo Mio? It's a Kevin James rom-com in Italy. It's cute. 7 out of 10. My grandma loved it. I think it actually looks really cute. It was fourth on my list to see in terms of like popularity, but I do want to see it. So I'll absolutely have that in my February list. Absolutely. Okay, not absolutely, because I do have a newborn, but I'm going to try my very best. Let's see. Space Padre said, I was blinded by nostalgia when I said Batman 1989 is a top 3 best superhero film along with The Dark Knight Rises and Logan. Space Padre, what are we going to do with you? You are so good at roasting someone formally. Well, you know, I've had a lot of experience over on Twitter. I love roasting people. It's fun. Yeah. And I think that's my biggest issue with Space Padres. We've got to give, if we're going to have that opinion, we've got to have reasons. We've got to have reasons, not just, oh, Glaze. Oh, here we go. He's back. Infinity War is overrated because people mistake its hype, crossover spectacle, and shock ending for great storytelling. It's only half a story with limited character depth and no real resolution. I disagree. And I'm not going to go into why I disagree because I've made 30 videos on it because it's in my tier lists, it's in my rankings, but just go watch my original review and I'll tell you why it's not what you're saying it is. It's not a crossover spectacle. It is exactly what they were building up to. It's not shock ending for the sake of a shock ending. It's a shock ending that did its job and shocked people. It doesn't get in the place of great storytelling. The storytelling prior is so well put together. I think the pacing is great. The way the Russo brothers wrote all of these characters to be on screen together at the same time. You're never mistaken with where you are. It doesn't feel cluttered or clunky. None of that stuff. And so, you know, it's half a story with limited character depth. I mean, it's the most character depth Thanos has ever gotten in a movie and ever will have. And so I completely disagree with that. And no real resolution. Ending is predictable too. Across the Spider-Verse is a better cliffhanger. Ending's not predictable. No one predicted that at the time. You can say that now, looking back. No one predicted that in 2018. I can promise you. And I know you were probably 5 years old in 2018, but I promise you no one predicted that to happen. Now, we all did predict everyone coming back in Avengers Endgame, but no one predicted Avengers Infinity War to end that way. I can promise you that. And if they did, then they're lying to you. And so one of the things that I like to do is not, we don't like revisionist history. We don't like saying, oh, well, everyone knew that was coming, because no, everyone did not know that was coming. We know they would lose, did not spell lose correctly, in 2018. Why else would they split it? No, that doesn't apply. That doesn't apply at all. If you remember, we didn't even know the name of the next Avengers. And so like this is not how it happened back in 2017 and 2018. Like this is not how it happened. No one even knew what Avengers was going to be called back in that time. So no one knew it was going to be a cliffhanger like that. Like you can say that in 2026. That's not how it happened. And so I think you may have been a little too young to recall how it happened. I'm not wasting my time on this anymore. This is it's someone who maybe wasn't there. Maybe you time traveled to the future and you just now came back to 2026. Let's see. 2 hot takes and a lie. The original Knives Out is the weakest in the trilogy. Okay. Kill Bill Volume 2 is better than Volume 1. Okay. Memento is the best Nolan movie. Man. I entirely disagree with the original Knives Out as the weakest in the trilogy because I believe the original Knives Out is the best in the trilogy. But I could absolutely see someone thinking that because the other two are also good. Kill Bill Volume 2 is better than Volume 1. I don't think that's a hot take. But, well, maybe it is. Memento is the best Nolan movie. That's where I draw the line. Now, if you're asking me, what would I think the lie is here? It's hard for me to think that anyone believes Memento is better than Interstellar, Inception, The Dark Knight, Oppenheimer. It's tough for me to think that. And so I'm sure a lot of people do, but it's tough for me to think that. So that's kind of where I would look and say, I don't know about that. I don't know. But I could see other people thinking the original Knives Out is the weakest. I don't think that's the case. I think the original Knives Out is far and away the best. Memento is my second favorite Nolan film behind Oppenheimer. Dark Knight is third, and all are in my top 20. Yeah, I mean, Memento is a magnificent movie, and it's kind of one of the, I might want to go back and rewatch Memento tonight. You guys are really getting into my, the lie is Memento. Yes, there we go. Memento is the best Nolan movie. Very nice. Glass Onion's genuinely my favorite in the trilogy, followed by Wake Up Dead Man. Wow. Okay. So the Nolan one was the lie, but I get that. I get the Knives Out thing. I think they're all good. Memento has its fans, but it's like 8th for me. I mean, it's a little lower down my list, but it's still a great movie. That's the thing about Nolan, man. It's still a great movie. Let's see. Hot take. Insomnia is Nolan's second best movie. That is a hot take. It's a very hot take, but I like it. I like that take. Insomnia is another underrated one. I think Insomnia is like 8 for me, maybe 7 or 8, but I think it's a great film. Nolan's most underrated movie for me, probably The Prestige. When I hear people talk about Nolan, they don't really ever bring up The Prestige. And I have to sit there and be like, The Prestige is in there too. They're like, oh, Interstellar, Inception, Oppenheimer. They'll even say Tenet before The Prestige. And I'm like, Prestige is in there too. And so I'm kind of like, you can't forget about that one. But Nolan's so good, you could also throw Insomnia in there and it'd be a magnificent film. So I don't know. That's really tough. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, guys, we've been down here for 2 hours. Holy moly. This has been so much fun, though. I've had a great time. Let me do last call. Last call for super chats. Last call for likes. If you guys want to like the stream, man, that would be they've changed the layout over on YouTube here. Let's see, how many likes do we have? It doesn't tell me anymore. It used to tell me how many likes we have. Oh, here we go. 35. Let's get to 40. Get to 40 likes. Let's get to 40 likes, baby. Get to 40 likes. We got this. We can do this. I believe. I think we can get to 40 likes. And also, I've got a shout out right here. If you guys go over to the channel, since you're here and you're hanging out, because this live stream was, well, it was just a live stream, but it was also a way for me to announce to you all members only live streams. We're going to try, since football season's over after this weekend, to do this every single Sunday or probably every other Sunday, since babies, but we're going to try to do members only. So if you guys want to go over and hit the join button over on the channel, you're not going to be able to see that because my Zoom, my blur. If you guys want to hit the join button over on the channel and become a Flick fan, which is the lowest tier, and there are multiple tiers, but the members only live streams, I am so excited for those. And I don't know why this has members only live streams on the highest tier. Ignore that. I'm going to change that. The members only live stream should not be on the highest tier. I don't recall doing that, actually. So we're going to make it not the highest tier for the members only live streams. But we're going to start doing those hopefully next Sunday night, along with one of these every single month. And so we're definitely going to be doing that. Stay tuned. Someone said, do more streams, please. Yes. Along with maybe a movie mode rejuvenation. But right now we're focusing on the members only live streams. I'm really hyped for the Morgan Freeman Dinosaur Project. Oh my God. Did you guys see that announcement? Oh, I love Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is one of the greatest voices of all time. And so I saw that announcement and I'm like, okay, so you're pairing that with Morgan Freeman and it looks magnificent. Yeah, I am stoked, Mr. Penguin. I'm absolutely stoked for that. Morgan Freeman is one of my all-time favorite voices. In general, one of my all-time favorite voices. TJ said, do more streams. We'll do more streams. Don't you worry. And again, if you go over to the channel membership section, please ignore the highest tier saying live streams only. The highest tier is going to be other things, but the live streams are going to be on the lower tiers, on the ones that aren't as expensive. And so just ignore that. I'm going to go in and switch it after this thing is over for sure. Did you guys hear about the David Corn Sweat football movie? Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant. That was announced today. I think it is kind of funny because people are going to now meme that for Superman. And I've already seen that on Twitter. But I think it's a great. I have always loved the idea of Mr. Irrelevant, the final pick in the NFL draft every single year. And this is, I believe, about the very first Mr. Irrelevant, kind of the guy who got that nickname. So I think it's a great idea. I'm also very excited about the John Madden movie. I know it could be absolutely ridiculous, but I'm a huge football junkie. And so anytime we get a movie like that, count me in. And it's Nicolas Cage and Christian Bale. So very cool. Will you still do the non-member live streams? Absolutely. Just not nearly as much. We'll do non-member live streams when we get the opportunity. And so I definitely would like to do another one this month for sure. That's the goal. So maybe here in about 2 weeks. The member live stream, hopefully this weekend, this Sunday. We'll see. Maybe next Sunday, and we'll do a double feature. We'll do a members only and then a non-members back to back. And then during these live streams, I'm going to start shouting out my channel members. And we've already got 2. So let's go over and give shout outs to the first 2 channel members. And it's crazy because we just started this and we've already got 2 people that signed up here. And so memberships, yeah, baby. We got Jazza241 and Smash3 are so far the 2 channel members. Very freaking cool, man. Jazza241 and Smash3. Thank you all so much. And we're going to get graphics for you 2 as well to make some appearances in my video. Nicholas said, spam, spam, spam. Space Padre said, I'm trying to be a film critic, but through a website, I'm a work in progress. Tell me your advice and thoughts. Well, Space Padre, listen, I just think first things first, I love your mentality. I love your passion. We can't sit and argue that we are right no matter what. I think that is like the antithesis of like, it's just not going to work as a film critic. But first things first, expand your repertoire. Watch different movies. Don't just stick in one genre. As a film critic, you have to even watch the things that you despise. And I'm talking genres. I'm talking, I was not a big rom-com fan before we started. I never had been. But through watching a lot of rom-coms, because of this job, because of this gig, I was able to kind of develop a passion for the ones that broke through and, made me somewhat of a fan of the genre. And beyond just watching all the movies, because you have to watch all the movies if you want to be a film critic, all the movies. You don't want to burn yourself out, Space Padre. And what I mean by that is, yeah, Nicholas said, be respectful. And that's the most important thing, Space Padre. And I think that's what you should probably work on, is more respectful is definitely important. But you've got to be able to stick to your guns. And so if you can stick to your guns in a more respectful way, and keep in that passion, that's a good start, right? So don't compromise, right? We all disagree with you on the Infinity Ward thing. I disagree with you heavily on that. I think it's crazy. But stick to your guns. There's got to be more of a respectful approach when it comes to that, right? At the same time, though, do not burn yourself out. And what I mean by that is you can overdo it. You can watch too much. You can do it to where it feels like you don't care about it anymore. And then you're, in a pickle because you've already committed so much time to this thing that you don't want to continue and follow through with. So there's a balance, and you've got to find the right balance. It took me 4 years, 5 years to find the right balance. And even now with 2 kids, that's become a little more hectic and chaotic. But the most important thing, you said you're starting a WordPress, a website. Inject your own style into it. Don't try to copy. Don't try to redo, comicbookmovie.com or Screen Rant or this and that. Make it your own. Add your own graphics. Put in a random page that you've not seen anywhere else. Include a shout out to movies that you love. Like, do some different things. And I know that's so generic, such a generic thing to say. But I think you can do it. Like, look, I have fundamentally disagreed with almost everything you've said tonight. And frankly, I think some of the things have been ridiculous, but at least you're passionate. And I can respect that. And look at this. It was fun arguing with you. You've even got people saying it was fun. You have trolled us tonight, okay? But you've got people saying they've enjoyed your troll. So you're doing something right. Maybe next time just be a little more respectful about it. Be a little more not as in your face, all right? And Crooked Shoetail said, most YouTubers would have just blocked you an hour ago. Yeah, I mean, I probably should have blocked you earlier because it was a little ridiculous. But listen, I like the passion. I can respect that. I respect the hustle. And even if you were trolling, I respect the hustle. Maybe next time, just a little less spammy, but I can respect it. So Space Padre, I'm in with you. I think you can do it. I believe in you. All right. I believe in you. I think you can do it. I really do. Somebody said I've been on team Space Padre. I've been on team Space Padre. Space Padre, come back to our next live stream and give us an update on your review side. All right. Would love to hear it. Listen, guys. Listen. You've been here with me. Rocky McFly with another super chat. Thanks for doing this tonight. It was a ton of fun. This is mostly for that space guy. But just so everyone knows, movies are all subjective, and it's okay to like bad movies and not like good movies. I completely agree. Look, I like movies sometimes, I put F1 in my top 5 movies of the year, and I freaking, I went on a limb with that. That's okay. Look, you've got to be yourself. And that's why I've leaned more over the years. I used to be such a stickler of, it's got to have the cinematography, and it's got to have the script has to be full of this, and this. But over the years, I've just become more like, what is my emotional attachment, or how much did it entertain me? And that weighs so heavily on how I score a movie now. Where when I was in my early 20s, I was really trying to just, I got to get the balance right. I got to make sure that I talk about the script and the production design, and I got to, and even if I'm not entertained or I'm not emotionally connected, I've got to give. But now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I've got to be entertained. I've got to emotionally connect. If I don't do those things, even if a film is well made, tough luck. Sucks for you. You know what I mean? And so it's definitely one of those things. It's one of those things where you have to be true to yourself. And that's such a stupid thing to say, because people have told me that my whole life. I'm like, it's dumb, but it's true. And if you're not honest with how you connect to something, even though you can say, well, that is a very well-made film, unfortunately, I just didn't connect to it. If you're not honest about that, look, I gave a bad grade to I Saw the TV Glow. Okay. People crushed me. They crushed me over on Twitter for not liking that movie. And they called me. They're like, you just hate what it represents. I'm like, no, why does it have to be that? No, it's not that. You're just being a baby. Don't be a baby. Let me not like the things I don't like. There doesn't have to be an underlying reason to why I don't like it. Maybe I just didn't emotionally connect or resonate. It's okay. And if you don't think it's okay, tough luck. Not my problem. That's a you thing. And so, see, I also didn't like I Saw the TV Glow. And so, yeah, listen, guys, be yourself. Be honest. Don't try to conform to what other people want you to say. And don't listen to everything that you're told at all times. We're seeing that in the world right now in 2026 with the release of the certain files right now. It's like everybody's been telling us a lot for the last few years. That's been a bunch of bullshit. And so it's kind of like, don't sit here. It reminds me of a bug's life. You had the ants and the grasshoppers, and the grasshoppers are just like, yeah, they're going to conform and they're going to do whatever we say, and we can't let them rise up against us. We are the ants. Okay. We can't sit here and take the crap from the grasshoppers if they're just going to sneak behind our backs and mess with our kids. All right. We can't do it. And so I've gotten a little deeper than movie criticism, and I apologize. But but I'm just saying, if a bunch of people are telling you to think one way and you feel like you don't need to think that way, don't think that way. Think your way. I think that's really important. And it's such cliche advice, but it's very important. Going to any film festivals this year? Probably not. We'll see about Fantastic Fest. We'll see about that. Not anytime soon, though, because newborn. I gotta show you a picture of my newborn. And then we've got Space Padre. I assume this is your Letterboxd. We got Space Padre on Letterboxd 6363. There we go. Heck yeah, Space Padre. Let's go. Tough luck. That's where I'm at right now. At least we can agree on the Holdovers love. Rocky McFly. Let's go. God, we both remember how much we loved that movie. I remember when you messaged me. I love that movie so much, man. Maybe that's what I want to watch tonight. I'm going to watch The Holdover. Speaking of which, how's the new... we got somebody else in the chat. Hello, what's up? Oh, you're coming in right when we're leaving. Do not worry. We're going to be back. We're going to be back with another live stream. Do not worry. Hey, tomorrow, guys, real quick. Tomorrow, I plan on ranking the 20 Oscar-nominated performances, supporting actor, supporting actress, actor, and actress. And what else was I about to do? And let's see. How's the new baby? The new baby is amazing. Let's find a cute little video of the baby. Because let's see here. Very cute video. Oh my goodness. She's so sweet and I love her so much. Here we go. Here's the baby. Here's the baby. There we go. That's the baby. Wait. She's starting to make noises. Look at this. She's making noises. Oh, I miss her so bad. She's not here right now. Oh, I miss her so bad. They've been gone for they've been gone for less than 48 hours. And I'm like, man, woo. And Riley's great too, as you all saw earlier. We FaceTimed her. If you guys just joined in, Riley FaceTime. She's doing amazing. Let me show you a picture of her real quick. Hang on. There's her and her pop out in the snow playing today. That's who they're visiting. Oh my gosh, man. Woo! I love her so much. Holy moly. Can you give an estimated date of the best movies of the decade list? I'm thinking 2 weeks from this weekend. I'm thinking Saturday. So that would be the 20th. I'm thinking the 20th or the 21st is what the best of the decades is looking like. I'm planning on maybe filming it this week and just starting that editing process, which I never do it that far out, but that's kind of what I want to do. Oh, thanks, Golden Light Pictures. She is so precious. Thank you. She is the love of my life. Space Padre said, can you and me chat one-on-one? Space Padre, you can follow me on Instagram. I assume your Instagram would be Space Padre, and I'll connect with you there if you have anything to share with me, website, whatever. That would be a great place to reach me. Probably the best place to reach me. How dare YouTube interrupt the baby? Did YouTube interrupt the baby with an ad? No way. Stop it. YouTube's like, your child's not cute. Here's an ad. It's insane. That's insane. Oh, thank you all. Thank you all. She's amazing. I love her. I love both of those kids. My God. Oh, God, I love both of those kids so much. Listen, guys, this has been fun. What's the bowl of eggs in the background? Did you say bowl of eggs? Wait. Here we go. More like Marty Supreme balls. Yeah, baby. I've got a box prepared of Marty Supreme balls to send to, I can't even remember her name now. I can't remember the poor girl's name. I've got it written down, who was our victor of the Marty Supreme balls contest, but we've been snowed in for a week and a half, so I've not been able to do anything left. I'll get her name and give her a shout out. But Marty Supreme balls, that they do look like eggs, though. Let me see. Somebody said, did my super chat not go through? Oh no, did somebody super chat? Oh my gosh, it didn't start. Thank you. Listen, you guys got to let me know. Anytime I do not get to a super chat, let me know, because it did not star Lone Wolf X6, or is it times 6? Which film do you think will be better, Project Hail Mary or Disclosure Day? And which do you see winning the box office battle between the two? God, what a way to end. What a way to end tonight. Barring any more super chats. I believe it's hard to not say a Spielberg movie's, like, why would I not say the Spielberg movie is going to be better? But and I don't think the Project Hail Mary trailers have been very good. To be honest with you, I don't think they've been very good. All of that said, I believe everything I've heard about Project Hail Mary, because I have heard, man, my nose is itching. When I talk a lot, my nose itches, and so apologies. It's just like scratch it, and it's dry in this darn house. There's so much ice out on that ground. I'm stalling. I think Project Hail Mary is going to be better. Oh, I know, and it hurts. And it hurts. I also think Project Hail Mary might win the box office. Only because this is so tough, man. Where Disclosure Day is located, in the dead heat, literally, of summer, in between multiple movies that are going to crush at the box office. And Project Hail Mary, if it knocks this Super Bowl trailer out of the park, and you've got Lord Miller, very capable directors, you've got Greg Fraser's cinematography, and you've got a beloved book. If it knocks the Super Bowl trailer out of the park and the book readers show up, I think it makes more money because it's coming out at a better time, a time that you're going to be able to make more money. And Spielberg's movies, they haven't had that box. They haven't had what Nolan's movies have had the last 5 or 6 years. And it sucks. And I hate to say that. And if everything I'm hearing about Project Hail Mary is true from peers, industry folk, I mean, they've had numerous test screenings. Apparently the book is a masterpiece. Then I think that one, I think it might be a better film. Now, we don't know anything about Disclosure Day. I don't know if it's going to be good. It could be a disaster. It could be the next masterpiece. If Disclosure Day ends up with a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes and an A- cinema score, and is as impactful as a film like, well, other Spielberg movies like War of the Worlds, or go back to Shyamalan's Signs, then yeah, it's going to win the box office and it's going to be the better film. But with all the knowledge I have right now, I think Project Hail Mary wins the box office. If the book readers show up, if it knocks the Super Bowl trailer out of the park, and I haven't liked the trailers that much, we will see. But I also think it could be the better film based on what I've heard. Unbelievable. What a weird world we're living in. What a weird world. What a great question, Lone Wolf. Thanks for letting me know that you asked that, because I would have the StreamYard, man. It's struggling tonight. I'm telling you, it's not starring some of these super chats. When you said War of the Worlds, I thought of I thought of Ice Cube. Not that one, James. Not the Ice Cube. War of the Worlds. Thank you all for hanging out, chilling, relaxing, talking movies, doing all the fun stuff, man. This was a great time. And I promise, if you guys come back, we're going to do more of these now that baby's a little older. I promise to have better graphics. I promise to make this more of an important thing. And who knows, maybe we can make this the movie mode live stream, the movie mode live show. I think that would be super fun to kind of change this whole format up. Regardless, thank you all for watching. Come back. We're going to be ranking the 20 acting performances, and then we're working on best of the decade. We're working on it. Oh, we got one last one. Lone Wolf, let's go. Dune 3 or the Odyssey? Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know. Oh, the Odyssey. The Odyssey. I told you guys, it's like every day I feel differently. Like when that Dune 3 trailer comes out, when that Dune 3 trailer comes out, I know for a fact I'll be sitting there going, oh, it's Dune. The answer's Dune. Why did you say Odyssey, Austin? You're dumb, you big dummy head. But I am just so obsessed with what Nolan is doing right now. Like he is freaking taking this thing on right now. It just, oh, man. Avengers Doomsday or Dune 3. I've got to go Dune 3. That's a great one too. I've got to go Dune 3 because I just think that's like the potential to cap off what could be one of the greatest trilogies of all time by one of my favorite directors of all time with some of my favorite characters of all time. It's just like, it's too much. So I'm going to put that over Doomsday. But I am curious to see, like, can the Russo brothers recapture that magic? I don't know if they can, but I've heard really cool things about Doomsday. And I've heard Doomsday is what people thought Multiverse of Madness was going to be. Like, this is everything. We're going to see Magneto, Hunt for Gollum or Secret Wars. I mean, I'd probably go Secret Wars over Hunt for Gollum. Because I don't know. Like, you don't have Peter Jackson back. I don't know. Look, Return of the King is my favorite movie of all time, but it's like, I don't know if we can recapture that. Can we recapture that? I am not entirely sure. If Doomsday happens, how do you see the box office going? Will it be weird? I mean, I think Doomsday would outgross Dune Part 3, but I think Dune Part 3 is going to do amazing. And so Doomsday will win. Dune Part 3 will make great money. Both of them will succeed for sure. SpongeBob or The Office. Prime SpongeBob? Prime SpongeBob, 100%. But you've got to factor in all of it. And so The Office, the majority of the seasons are spectacular. Not all of them, but the majority. 7 out of the 9. And I would consider The Office one of my favorite shows of all time, along with SpongeBob. So yeah, I've got to go The Office as a whole. The Suicide Squad or Thunderbolts, I would go The Suicide Squad. I know that's probably an unpopular answer. Lee Cronin's The Mummy or Evil Dead Burn? Lee Cronin's The Mummy. God. I don't know. I'm going to Evil Dead Burn. Yeah, I mean, I think that's got more potential to be really good. I'm actually very nervous for Lee Cronin's The Mummy, to be honest with you. Apples or oranges? Last question of the day? Give me apples. You could do more. I probably prefer orange juice to apple juice. Oh, I don't know. I do love apple juice. I probably prefer orange juice to apple juice. But give me an apple pie, give me an apple tart, give me an apple strudel. Yes, please. Cinnamon apple twists, anything. Give me any of that. Let's go. Sinners or War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube. Well, I mean, you've got to go with the movie that had the bigger cultural impact, the more diverse casting, the more interesting plot, and the better director. 100%. That's why I'm going War of the Worlds, baby. Let's go. Coffee or energy drink? Energy drink. Energy drink. Let's go. But a very specific one. It can't be, it's got to be, you don't want to do a sugar energy drink because then you'll get the bad crash. I do love coffee though too. But I'm obsessed with Alani's right now. I'm a big Alani fan. The Boys, Daredevil season 2, Invincible, same weeks, busy content. I know. I hope I get the screeners for all those, because if I don't, I'm screwed. It's over. It is so over if I don't get the screeners for all those. I barely got screeners for Daredevil season 1. I had to beg for them. I only got the first 4 episodes of Invincible. The Boys, I don't even know what happened with The Boys. Did I get screeners for that? I think I did, but I had to beg. They make me beg. I'm like a dog. Baby Yoda or Grogu? I mean, look, Grogu's a sweet name, but when it was Baby Yoda, I just rolled off the tongue. Baby Yoda. So I'm going to go Baby Yoda. All right, listen, guys. I love you all. Seriously, this has been a blast. We're going to be back. We're going to do more. Go check out the members only stuff, but do not worry where it says live stream on the highest tier. That's not going to be the case. And check out my latest reviews. I did a short yesterday for Dracula. I did a short today for The Strangers Chapter 3. All right. Thank you all. I'll see you on the flippity flip. That's an Office reference, in case you didn't know. Bye-bye.